Ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has got you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
Websites and social media selling fake medicines may look legitimate, but they're not.
He died in less than 15 minutes after taking the pill.
Any medication not purchased from a licensed pharmacy could be deadly.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Learn about fake medicine on social media and if an online pharmacy is safe.
HIV is not a crime, or it shouldn't be.
It's time for the laws to catch up to science.
Join the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation to modernize outdated HIV criminalization laws. Go to etaf.org. Campaign funded through the support of Gilead Sciences Incorporated.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. One more pleasant afternoon before a pattern change heads our way. We'll see highs in the low 80s this afternoon with nice low humidity. Overnight tonight, mainly clear with a low of 62. A couple things happen tomorrow. One, it's hotter. We'll see highs in the upper 80s, but we'll have a chance of showers also late in the day.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 231 points to 45,064. Market update this hour, I should say, is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Bailey 2nd and 10. Rifles it right seam in stride. Grimes has it 5. Touchdown. 48 yards. There's a laser from C.J. Bailey. Moore running left, cuts inside across the 25. Angles right. Moore is loose. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Jacquez Moore takes it home.
Lopez in the pistol with Hood behind him. He will hand to him. Hood right side. Slithers through and powers home. Touchdown, Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. As always, I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. And we got some juicy NFL trade gossip. And that's going to start off our Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
So everybody knows, at least everybody that follows sports knows, and many of you that probably don't, Micah Parsons was traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. Monumental move. Jerry Jones said some things. Money was exchanged. There's big deals and lots of movement. What we didn't know was that the Panthers were playing a supporting role in the festivities. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who put out a long article on ESPN.com with all of the ins and outs and the who's and the what's and the whys of the details on how Dallas went from thinking they had a extension with Micah Parsons to trading him to the Green Bay Packers. And he's doing the rounds, right, which would make sense that he would jump on 105.3 in Dallas, right? Dallas is particularly interested in it. And in that conversation, he revealed the Panthers' role in it all.
I know the Carolina Panthers inquired. They did not make a formal offer, but they did inquire, so they were in talks. And, you know, we heard some whispers from league circles that Micah had interest in certain teams. Green Bay was one, but like a little bit of Baltimore, a little bit of Kansas City, Philadelphia. But we never really – some of those teams didn't look into it really. I know Kansas City didn't. There wasn't a lot of momentum in some of those other teams. But Carolina did look into it, and Dallas would have had reason to look into that because of Derek Brown, you know, star defensive tackle. They were looking for those type of players, those interior D linemen. So that made some sense. But Carolina ultimately – didn't want to move Brown and didn't move on that.
Interesting. Do you know what? I made this joke a couple of weeks ago, but I think it might be true. I said that right, as we do here in the Triangle, right? We cover the Carolina Hurricanes pretty extensively, and we cover the Carolina Panthers up there in Charlotte pretty extensively. And I said, Dan Morgan maybe should call up Eric Tulsky and figure out some maybe tricks of the trade they could pass back and forth. And one of them I said about Tulsky was Tulsky, by his own admission, Eric Tulsky, the GM of the Canes, is trying to be in every conversation. If there's going to be a big trade, he just wants to be in the mix, right? What's the price? Maybe I can beat it. Maybe I don't want to, but I like that information, right? Because maybe you'll find out that one guy was maybe up for sale that you didn't know. Or maybe you can facilitate it with some cap space and walk away with like a free third rounder. Like maybe he just can just be in the mix. Dan Morgan is in the mix. Or Brant Tillis or whoever's representing the Carolina Panthers on these calls. They're in the mix. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, the Panthers were one of 3 teams reported to have called on Trey Hendrickson, last year's sack leader. Now, Micah Parsons pops up, and oh, look at that. Jeremy Fowler's like, the Panthers were involved. Now, we don't, or at least I don't, believe either of those conversations got very far, but why not be in the mix? Why not be in the mix? I like it, right? Because, you know, there's a quote in the second longest yard, right? Didn't get the whole Hershey bar, but at least he got a Hershey's Kiss. That's a I think it's when they go get Nelly. Anyway, maybe you go in asking for Micah Parsons and you learn that Dallas is, okay. But we'd also, how did you think about this guy, right? And you walk away with some other information. We walk away with, they don't love their backup corner or whatever, like somebody you are looking for. I love hearing. Now, part of me does wish that it didn't always hit the media. Like there wasn't always a leak that the Panthers were in on the calls. But I like that they're always in on the calls. And then guess what? There's a little bit of confidence. Here's a little extra confidence for you, Derek Brown. We wouldn't even let them touch you in Micah Parsons conversations. That's how highly we think of you, Derek Brown. Here's a little extra confidence. Go get some sacks. I like it. Carolina wouldn't give up Derek Brown for Micah Parsons. Now, it might have been they wanted Derek Brown and that's where they drew the line, but we don't know that. So I'm going, good for you, Derek Brown. And good for Dan Morgan for just exploring every opportunity to get better. Because let's be real, the Panthers need to explore every opportunity to get better. That's number 1. Let's hit number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, you knew once the SEC did it, the ACC and every other conference would at least consider it up next. The ACC considering a 9-game conference schedule. We're talking football here. I'm going to say this as succinctly as I possibly can. And I'm also, I don't know why I'm quoting really ridiculous movies today already. We're like 7 minutes into the show. Starsky and Hutch, but the new one, do it. Do it. That's the Ben Stiller character. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go to 9 games. Go to 10 games. The new rules or the new metrics that are being shown to the College Football Playoff Committee have encouraged better games, meaning you will be rewarded for winning big games more than you have in the past, and you won't be hurt as much in your evaluation for losing big games as much as you had in the past, which makes it less ideal to schedule a bunch of easy win non-conference games. So if your teams are going to go schedule tough non-conference games, think of a lot of the ones week 1, right? If you're going to have Clemson go up against LSU, if you're going to have Miami go up against Notre Dame, if you're going to have Virginia Tech go up against South Carolina, that's great. Fantastic. Going to have UNC go up against TCU. Didn't work out well, but that's a game that will be rewarded under the new scheduling. But guess what's coming up this week? Not much. There's a lot of scheduled in get-back games. Hey, in case this really big game week 1 goes poorly, let's give ourselves a get-back game in week 2. There's only one ranked game this week.
Only one?
Michigan, Oklahoma. That's it. Other than that, you just have a lot of teams that are, getting their non-conference wins out of the way. If you can find a way to get your teams to do away with that, it's better for you for a few reasons. Better for you based on everything I said about the metrics. Better money. Go to your media partners and say, hey, we got a bunch of extra games to give you. They're all in conference, and they should matter more, right? When instead of the games this week that you're giving the ACC network or ESPN or ABC or whatever you're giving them, right? As we look at, I'll bring it up right now, the ACC schedule for this week, James Madison, Louisville, East Texas A&M, Florida State. Ready for this non-conference game? Virginia at NC State.
Hey, at least it's a power conference matchup.
No, that is better than Central Michigan, Pittsburgh. That is better than Western Carolina, Wake Forest. That is better than Clemson, Troy, Gardner-Webb, Georgia Tech. Your media partners would rather have North Carolina, Louisville. Would rather have Syracuse against NC State, whatever it ends up being. Give your partners what they want. They'll give you more money in return.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about this a little bit more. I'm in favor of 9 conference games plus required to play at least one more out-of-conference power conference opponent, I should say.
For 12 games, here's my ideal. My ideal is 10 conference games, 2 non-conference games, 1 group of 5, 1 power conference. But if I were to reel it back in, it would be 9 conference games, 1 FCS game, 1 group of 5 game, 1 power conference game. And we get to tell you what week, meaning the conference gets to tell you what week to put your power conference non-conference game, because then we can stagger them to make sure we always have a primetime conference non-conference game. But hey, we can get into that later. That's number 2. Let's hit number 3.
Number 3.
We have new Carolina Hurricanes uniforms. 10 o'clock today, the Canes rolled out their new road unis, road sweaters, road jerseys, whatever you want to call them. Dennis, as our resident fashion expert.
Oh, am I?
Well, yeah, more than me.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, all right.
Between the two of us, I think I'm more qualified.
You could have
Go
fought
on.
back a little bit.
Yeah.
No, okay. All right. How would you describe them? Do you like them? Good, bad, indifferent? Give us the rundown.
So the best way to describe it is if you look at the Stadium Series uniforms they wore a couple of years ago when they played at Carter Finley, it's as opposed to, obviously those were black uniforms, just flip it in terms of white. That's really all it is. So you're just taking those uniforms, reimagining them and putting them in a way where it's just a road uniform and they're wearing white. That's really what it is. Even the logo, it's the primary Canes logo, but the coloring is similar to what it was, or the same as it was on the Stadium Series uniform, where it's just red and black as opposed to having touches and hits of white in there. I think it's overall pretty good, but I still wish that the Carolina Hurricanes would use their primary logo, the Hurricane logo, in its regular, normal colorway on a uniform. They still don't have that, which I find really odd that a pro team would not use its primary logo in its primary colorway on a uniform. That's just kind of mind-boggling to me.
in the details of it, how do you feel about the vintage Stormy? I think the strutting Stormy, whatever you want to call it, kind of
looks
on
like
the right shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like old Tuffy, like the NC State. I think it's really cool. We actually saw that, again, at the Stadium Series. We saw that logo come about. So this is very much a tie-in to the Stadium Series, and again, I said a reimagining of that, but they are clearly leaning into the collegiate aspect of this area and how college sports are so big. And that's really what they're leaning into, which I have no problem with that at all. I actually really like it as the patch on the shoulder. I think it's neat.
Can I do some overthinking real quick?
Absolutely.
The three players and all of the pictures that they revealed, the jerseys, Jacob Slavin, Andrei Svechnikov, Chatfield.
Yeah.
Chatfield, one of the premier, one of the marketable, that's a big deal right there.
I think those are the three guys that were in town.
Hey, I said overthinking. Overthinking doesn't come with quick, simple logic. Overthinking comes with taking one tiny bit of information and running 100 miles with it. So what it means is they understand, like many of us understand, that that Jalen Chatfield is a core piece of this team, and he's depended upon and needs to be made more of a star. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's me overthinking things here on The Drive. You don't have to overthink this one, though. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Game on. Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football, by the way. It's first touchdown fireworks. It's anytime touchdown rushes and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. If you're looking at the lines as they stand right now, tomorrow the games open up. We have Dallas at Philadelphia, the defending champs. And if you're looking at touchdown scores, have people forgotten how good A.J. Brown is? A.J. Brown plus 160, anytime touchdown score. Saquon Barkley minus 185, so you get way bigger payout for A.J. Brown, who, by the way, is really gosh darn good. And at least week 1, it's unlikely that he's unhealthy, which seems to be the knock on A.J. Brown. So if you're interested in plus 160, might want to get there quick because lines, as always, and odds are subject to change. New customers, I got something else for you. Bet just $5, get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season, as I said, it starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks at what today is like and this week is like for Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Coming up next, don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, which way is your waiting room?
Oh, you can stay in your car. It only takes 10 minutes.
I can stay in? Get out. I better find a good playlist to listen to while I wait. EDM? Nah. Oh, what about something classical? Nah. You got any suggestions?
Dad rock?
Now you speaking my language.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Use the time best we can to, like I said, correct the mistakes from tonight and move on, and then get ready for Charlotte. So they got a couple extra days here, and They came off a disappointing game themselves, so we're both a little bit in the same boat here. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, and we'll get at it.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, I'm going to say a few obvious things here, but you just got to acknowledge them to set the stage for what we're going to talk about next. The North Carolina Tar Heels weren't ready for the big stage on Monday when they played against TCU. They were outplayed. They weren't as prepared as they should be. They weren't on the same page as a unit. The North Carolina Tar Heels weren't ready. Let's set the standard there. The question then becomes, how does Bill Belichick, as a head coach who's responsible for everything within your program, right? It all falls on your doorstep. How does he get them ready between now and their game against Charlotte this weekend? Or maybe even more importantly, between now and their game against Clemson in Week 5 when their conference schedule opens. With Charlotte and then Richmond and then a road game at UCF. And it's at Charlotte as well. So 2 road games and a home game. How does it happen? Well, expectations have changed, and for a little bit of that background, we'll go to Harry Douglas, ESPN radio personality, former NFL wide receiver, on what's the minimum expectation now for Belichick.
They better make a bowl game. And I understand the turnover on the roster, 70 new people, but at the same time, you're Bill Belichick.
Yeah, figure it out.
You won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach for the New England Patriots. You won 2 with the New York Giants as the defensive coordinator. You figure it out. Because, like I mentioned, the schedule is not too daunting. The schedule is made out for you to be able to make a bowl game.
Here's where I get really, really interested. And we'll talk about it, but until 3 years from now, when a player on this team writes their tell-all book, we won't get the answers. Can Bill Belichick do the Belichick thing that he does after losses legendarily, like in myth form for the Tar Heels, right? Because he's notoriously a tough grader of film. He is notoriously a no-nonsense guy, right? He is notoriously he was tough even on Tom Brady when it comes to evaluating performance and everything. Can he do that? Because here's my overarching worry. He's not Bill Belichick at the college level yet, right? He's not Bill Belichick, the Super Bowl winning coach at UNC. In the same way that, like, you can win a Heisman and 2 national championships in college, and then when you're drafted into the NFL, you don't walk in with the cachet to tell everybody else, I've had all of this success. I know how to win. It's like, actually, kind of. What you did was impressive, but it doesn't really translate here. So thanks very much, Tebow. Did you catch that? I said 2 national championships and a Heisman. Oh, very specific, right? It's not the exact same. Like, he is Bill Belichick with the Super Bowls, but he's also not. There are guys on his roster, Benjamin Hall, the running back, that won a national championship last year or 2 years ago. Actually, I don't know if he was on Michigan 2 years ago. But there are guys that have been to college football playoffs. There are guys that have won more in college than Bill Belichick has on that roster, and he has to get the respect or the connection with those players in order to have those conversations, the tough ones. Because I want, if I'm a player, and I'm trying to put myself back in playing days, I want my coaches to be honest with me. I want my coaches to coach me hard. I want my coaches to let me know when I'm not doing something well enough. But I also want I need to know that my coaches have my best interest at heart before any of that happens. I don't want the statue in the hallway of the legend coming to life to yell at me when I didn't know that guy. You can't yell and scream and degrade guys until they know that you care about them, which is hard to do in short time periods anyway. It's very difficult to do when it's a short time period. You are new to the program, so technically the coaching staff is new to everybody in the program, but there are also 70-plus players that are new to the program. right? So they barely even have like the cosign thing, right? Because, when I was a freshman, came into college, seniors were immediately giving me the down low, right? Hey, that coach, I know he's giving you a hard time, but he only does that to guys he likes. And then it's like, ooh, actually, okay. I like that he's got a crude nickname for me, right? Like it changes things. They don't even really have that because everybody is new to everybody. Can Bill Belichick, and a lot of this work would have already been done, can he connect on a personal level with, I'll conservatively estimate 90 guys in half a year, enough to today be able to be as brutal as he needs to be on the practice field and have them be 100% on board with he has what's best in my future in his mind, and that also includes the team's future. That's not an easy deal. Now, I'll give him this. If you listen to Bill Belichick's former players at the professional level, and obviously the ones that have gone into media, there's more stories. The Brewskis, the Edelmans, right? Like those, the Cantys, those type of guys. They have pretty uniformly said for the last 20 years, like he is a more personable guy behind closed doors. He does connect with you better behind closed doors than you see publicly. He'd have to do it a lot better behind closed doors than we see publicly in order for 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds who are already, let's be real, we've all been that age, a bit immature and a bit brash and a bit probably ego-filled, that already are there to be able to be humble enough after that game to go, all right, lay it on me, coach. Tell me what I need to do. And you may say, well, they have to do that. Sure. Like, I'm trust me, I wish they all did. I wish every player showed up in college the most coachable they're ever going to be in their lives. It's just not realistic. But if you have a coach that connects with the players, they'll take all the criticism in the world. They'll work as hard as they possibly can for that coach. And it's more than just, what was Coach? I'm quoting movies all day today. Today might be a movie Wednesday.
Clearly,
Coach Carter, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you need to see my resume, it's on the wall behind you, and they turn around. They have the record book of like leading scorers and leading assists and everything. It like that works in movies, right? Even in that movie, you had to wait until he earned the trust of everybody before they started buying in fully and defending him. Bill Belichick can't just say, if you want to know why you should listen to me, go watch NFL films, right? It doesn't work that easily. It has to be one-on-one interactions. It has to be going through struggles and building that relationship, and then you lose by 1 billion points to TCU, and you have the best week of practice you've ever had the next week because everybody is on board with coach cares about me, I care about this team, let's dig in together and fix whatever the heck that was because we know we're better than that.
Also, it takes time. It's just a natural thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, players have to buy into each other, too. That's something you have to keep in mind is that these guys are still trying to forge their relationships with each other among the players in the locker room.
That
in and of itself takes a lot of time because it's one thing, but you and I both play college sports. You come in, you had a senior and juniors that, hey, this is how things are done here. You're still trying to figure out how things are done there, like on all levels, and that just simply takes time.
And it's funny because this guy we just followed each other like silently on Instagram, and I hadn't talked to him maybe since he graduated. He was a senior when I was a freshman. His name was Charles, and I think he might be in the area, which is how we connected. Charles, if you're out there, what's going on? He was a defensive back. He was a senior captain when I was a freshman, and I vividly remember him taking me and 3 other freshmen. We were there early for summer session 1 my freshman year. He took us apart, and he literally just went, okay, I see what some of you guys are doing, because one of the freshmen was he was loud during conditioning and things, like, come on, everybody. He's a freshman. He goes, y'all lead you, okay? He's like, freshman class, the freshman leaders, we need freshman leaders. You lead the other freshmen, right? And then next year, you'll be sophomores. You'll be leading the sophomores and the freshmen. He goes, it's going to be really tough for you guys to show up and in 2 weeks be yelling at a senior for not, finishing through the line, and you don't know what they're going through, right? Because he's like, I know which guys have torn their ACLs twice, right? So I know which guys I'll get on during condition. You don't know that, right? but you can know the freshmen. And then the next year, you know the freshmen and the sophomores. And the next year, once you're an upperclassman, you can lead everybody. But it was very much a, like, I'm not mad at you. I actually like what you're doing, but we just need to get things kind of in more of a line with the way we do things. And I'll put it this way. We didn't lose the first game of the season by 40 points. So, we didn't need to have all that lined up very, very quickly. We got to kind of ease into it because, different things happen. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's just a little bit of the questions, a few of the questions that are being asked of UNC right now. We'll get to more throughout the week. And we'll also get to the Dean's List in a minute. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. We keep talking about practice, not games, talking about practice. And as a motorcycle rider, believe it or not, practicing is something that will benefit you a ton. We always hear in sports about knowing your fundamentals and doing all the basic things right. Well, as a motorcycle rider, there are a lot of basic and fundamental things that you have to do in order to be safe out there on the road. If you can, as a motorcycle rider, go to a parking lot and practice on different turns and getting a feel for your bike just to make sure you have the basics of everything that you need to do when you're out there on the road to keep you safe. But unfortunately, an accident can happen, and this is where Law Tigers is there to help you out. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. That's right, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, even before you contact the insurance company. Law Tigers are part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike is worth, they know what your gear is worth, and what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case does settle. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Dean's List here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan is coming up next, including we pay our respects to a legend. Stick around.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said. All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCAA.
Got a sore throat? A kid with a high fever? An aching back? I've got 3 words for you. WakeMed Urgent Care. Locations everywhere. Urgent care just for kids. Urgent care just for orthopedics. Urgent care every day of the year at MyCare 365. Even virtual urgent care on your couch, in your jammies. Find the urgent care location nearest you at wakemed.org. We'll be here with the care you need whenever you need it.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit toward your new home purchase. Explore SmithDouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice within reach.
What?
New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Moore running left, cuts inside, across the 25, angles right, Moore is loose, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Jacquez Moore takes it home from 32.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Sometimes you just gotta let the band rock. You gotta let the tubas go. The trombones. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Isn't it funny how the switch just flips? Like you watch one weekend of college football, and I am like firm, like it feels like it's campus time now, right? It's like pep rallies and everything. Like we just watched one weekend of solid college football, and now I'm like, fire up the band. That is, I mean, it just happens like that. It happens like that every single year. Hockey fans out there, speaking of happening like that every single year, just like that. Oh. You could have a pretty sweet little trip planned. It is back, everybody. Get ready. The Sin City Skate Away is coming once again, starting next Monday, September 8th. Listen weekdays from noon to 6 p.m. here on 99.9 The Fan. That's the Adam Gold Show and this show, The Drive. Once an hour, we will give out a keyword. You hear the keyword, you text in the keyword. We'll give you the number and everything at that time. If you text it in before the end of the hour, you will gain an entry into the Sin City Skate Away, where you'll be in the running for the ultimate Vegas hockey trip. You can do that 6 times a day, starting on Monday, once an hour from noon to 6. With each additional entry, you'll have obviously more chances. And on Monday, September 22nd, one lucky winner will score a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena on October 20th, round-trip airfare for 2, a 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino with a $400 food credit. All of that goes to one lucky winner. So don't miss your shot at the Ultimate Hockey Getaway, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. I'm excited just to give that away, just to be associated with it. It's such a good prize.
Can I win?
Nope.
Damn.
But I don't think there are any rules against somebody else winning, like a listener, and just feeling like they want to bring along their favorite radio personality, and they get 2 tickets. There's 2 round trip. There's 2 $400. We could split that in food credits. So, you could offer, at least if you're the winner and you're listening right now. You could offer. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Dean's List. We'll start with a solemn one, but also a celebratory one. George Raveling, legendary college basketball coach and basketball figure, passed away. News breaking yesterday. He is a Hall of Fame basketball coach, college basketball Hall of Fame, Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. I'll give you kind of his little resume as a coach. He had a career record in college as a head coach at 335 and 293, where he coached from 1972 through 1994 at Washington State, Iowa, and USC, where he had a losing record in his first season at each school before making multiple trips to the NCAA tournament at all 3 schools. So a little bit of a fixer-upper style coach. Shows up, takes a program, levels it up. But what I think many of you will either know or already or appreciate learning is the role he played in making Michael Jordan into the myth that he is. So his success at those programs as a coach earned him a spot on the assistant coaching staff for the U.S. Olympic teams in 84 and 88. Obviously, Jordan was on one of those teams. He developed a relationship with Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan signed with Nike, and this according to Michael Jordan himself, I believe in a 2015 a 2015 interview. He was like, yeah, Sonny Vaccaro takes all the credit for me signing with Nike, but really it was George Raveling. George Raveling became a mentor to Michael. And I'll tell you a real fun fact about George Raveling, like an all-time, this guy's the most interesting man in the world. So he was a major piece because he became a Nike ambassador and he became, a huge part of Nike's basketball program. He advised Michael Jordan to sign Nike, advised Nike to sign Michael Jordan, and obviously that landmark endorsement deal became a pretty big part of sports and Michael Jordan's origin story, and now he's so rich because of that deal, it's ridiculous. George Raveling was 88, by the way. So here's where George Raveling really becomes a wild and crazy figure in like history, not just sports history. He was I believe a security guard. He's described as a guard at Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, and was close enough, due to that role, to Martin Luther King Jr., that after the speech, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered I Have a Dream. I mean, up there in the most famous speeches in the history of the world, right? George Raveling asked him, hey, can I get your notes? And Martin Luther King Jr. gave him the sheet, gave him the speech. George Raveling owned the I Have a Dream speech in person, like in real, like the tangible deal. And despite being offered millions and millions of dollars of it, never sold it, donated it to his alma mater. It's now in a museum somewhere. But think about, like, you ever try to one-up this guy with a story? He can hit you with, well, I was on the staff for the 1984 Olympics when won gold. You might have a crazier story. You come over the top. He goes, well, I'm the reason Michael Jordan signed with Nike. You might have the best story in your back pocket. You roll it out. He goes, I have a dream speech. And it's like, you know what? You win, George. There you go. George Raveling passed away at the age of 88. Support to his family and celebration for one of the all-time greats. Another Dean's List member. We kind of have a rule here. You make a team, you make a watch list, you make an award, and you go to one of the schools we cover, you get on the Dean's List. Brian Parker II, Duke offensive lineman. He made Pro Football Focus's Team of the Week for Week 1 for his play in the Duke win over Elon. Obviously, Pro Football Focus leans on tape analysis and video and grading and everything, so they have him playing pretty well. He made the Team of the Week for Week 1 across college football. Congratulations to Brian Parker II. Dennis, do you have anyone you'd like to throw on here?
I do not.
All right. I have two more here. I'll do it quickly. One, Kean Sloan, NC State linebacker. I bring him up just because Mike Glennon and I recorded a Pack Therapy earlier today, which I believe is already posted up on YouTube and podcasting everywhere. So if you want to get ready for State's game against Virginia, as well as break down their game last week against ECU with an all-time program great like Mike Glennon, Pack Therapy, search for it. You can YouTube and watch along. In our prep, he said, I want to make sure we single out Kean Sloan on the defense because he thought he played really well and he impressed him when he rewatched the tape and took notes and everything. And then because I host the podcast, I steered him in a bunch of different directions and we never actually on air got to Kean Sloan. So I just want to say, hey, Kean, you're on the Dean's List. Mike was impressed. My bad, we didn't get to it on the podcast. But that's because there was so much other interesting stuff going on. So check out the podcast, Pack Therapy, everywhere podcasts can be found. And then lastly, speaking of the Wolfpack, NC State men's soccer. Starting the season ranked 5th in the United Soccer Coaches Poll. That is the highest ever program ranking in the United Soccer Coaches Poll, which began in 1996. So, you start setting high marks in program history. You're in a Dean's List. Congratulations. Class dismissed. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we get to our next topic, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending, home of the no-cost loan. I'm going to say it again because I know you hear it and you don't believe it, but it's true. It is a no-cost loan. Do you know what is? It's funny how often this happens. right? I talk to somebody about Miller Lending, and I say, they have the no-cost loan, or they have the no-closing cost loan. And do you know what's the number one response I get? What is that? And I'm going like, it's a no-cost loan. It's right there in the name, right? Like, you don't ask me what color an orange is. It's right there in the name. It's orange. It's an orange. What is a no-cost loan? What is a no-closing cost loan? It is a loan in which you don't pay closing costs. There are no costs, no fees, no surcharges. You basically are just on the hook for the down payment that you agreed upon and the monthly payment thereafter on your mortgage. There is no cost. There is no surcharge. There's no hidden fees, no third-party fees, no closing cost. Gordon's been doing them since 1987. Miller Lending's been doing them since they showed up here in the Triangle. By the way, locally owned, right there in Cary, and it's been a long time since they showed up. So if you have questions, first of all, I was about to say no dumb questions, but hey, what's a no closing cost loan? It's a loan with no closing costs. You know what? I'll answer them anyway, and they would be happy to answer much more complicated questions than that when it comes to your own mortgage situation, mortgage rates, and the different things you can do to set yourself up in the best financial place once you get your place, right? The house that you need a mortgage for. The phone number to call is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. An explosive bit of journalism done around the NBA. And it turns out the NBA's problems are very similar to the problems in college sports that could touch right down near in the Triangle. I'll explain more next. Stick around.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special. Interested in a career with Bojangles? Then stop by Bojangles Hiring Day, September 4th. Click bojanglesrdu.com/hiring day for more details.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Why world-class? Because it has a crisp and superior taste. That's world-class. It has only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. That's very world-class. So, if I'm seen drinking it by association, am I world-class? Oh yeah, Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. What's going on, everybody? I am a true believer, firm believer, that football should be played in the elements. But if you want to go throw a dome on, I get it. You want it to be 72.5 degrees at kickoff with no wind every single time, I get it. Because I know the great feeling of being outside doing yard work and it's hot. Or maybe running in from the car because it's raining or it's freezing cold and you walk inside and it feels good. I also know the panic that happens when you know you left the air conditioner on, it's hot outside, you walk inside hoping for that calm, refreshing, cool rush of air, and instead getting hot, sticky air that's been inside your house because the air conditioning is not working. Now, luckily, I also know the number to Mainer Service Company, so my panic only lasts seconds until I'm on the phone letting them know what's going on. Mainer Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, when the parts of your life that you're supposed to be able to control, like no wind inside a dome coming from a former quarterback, or the appropriate temperature inside your house, right? When those things are not going the way you want, Mainer Service Company is the way, is the person, is the company you want to call. So go ahead and give them a call. The number, 919-361-0993, to get control under what's going on in your house. 919-361-0993. Not just heating and cooling, by the way, plumbing and electrical as well. Learn more at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com.
That's the Kawhi Leonard I know, doing nothing and getting paid for it. This man is a walking absentee on the ballot. This brother will check the absentee ballot as much as he possibly can throughout his career.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Oh, loopholes. Have you ever heard the saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying? Have you ever heard the saying, sometimes you have to cross the line just so you know where it is? Pablo Torre, by the way, I'm going to throw this out there. Pablo Torre appears to be a very, very good investigative journalist. Former ESPN. You still see him pop up on like PTI and stuff occasionally. But now he's doing some work with Meadowlark Media. He's doing some work with the podcast is called Pablo Torre Finds Out. If he started poking around and asking people questions about me, I would be very nervous because the guy just unearths stuff that gets messy quick. And his latest bit of reporting has a pretty interesting impact on sports. Basically, he uncovered that Kawhi Leonard, who plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, signed an endorsement deal with a environmental company called Aspiration. The Aspiration is pretty confusing. Looks like tree planting is a big part of their business. There's some climate change issues. That's kind of irrelevant here, okay? The reporting indicates that Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million 4-year endorsement with this company. $7 million a year. And he was being paid the $28 million. He received checks to KL2. There's some LLC that he is the listed president owner of. And I encourage you to go check out Pablo Torre Finds Out, the podcast, to get all the full details. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version. Pablo Torre uncovers a lot. He couldn't find anything Kawhi Leonard had actually done to earn any of that money, which is fascinating in its own right. And then drops the bomb, which is Aspiration received $50 million in funding from the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, who is one of the handful of richest people on Earth. I believe right now, according to a Google search earlier, he is the 8th richest person walking planet Earth.
Oh, just 8th?
$153.7 billion.
Just 8th.
Just 8th. Loser. So he ends up giving $50 million to a company who in turn gives $28 million to his star player for doing absolutely nothing, is the way the dots are all connected. That would appear to be close to, if not fully doing this, close to an obvious way to circumnavigate the cap, right? So now the Clippers aren't paying him that $28 million. They don't have to pay the luxury aprons, and it's not on the books and everything else. Yet Kawhi Leonard still gets that money, essentially, for playing for the Clippers. In another way to put this, it's almost like it's not even a metaphor exactly. It's kind of it's an NIL collective. Where
it's an NIL deal, yeah.
Where you pay a player an endorsement, and they don't actually have to do anything because it's really just paying a player to play for a particular team. Just like we've seen collectives give money to quarterbacks and point guards, and they don't really have to be in any commercials or tweet. They just get the money in exchange for playing for whatever collective that team benefits.
You know, I've seen circulating around today after this news came out.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2022, June 29th,
okay,
the LA Clippers posted on Twitter, "Happy birthday, Kawhi. For every comment / retweet, Aspiration will plant one tree for Kawhi's birthday."
I've seen that as well.
So you've seen like his name, like his logo, or like his name, his image, and all that stuff, and you see Aspiration there, but this is the Clippers also putting that out.
Here's the part that gets interesting. I don't know how you patrol this if they're just a 5% better rule breaker. What? Because, by the way, Aspiration had paid other celebrities for endorsements. Non-athletes had nothing to do with the Clippers. They had paid, I think I saw Drake. I know they paid Robert Downey Jr. They had paid other celebrities to endorse what they're doing. What if Kawhi tweeted about it a couple times? What if Kawhi at one point in time just said, hey, Aspiration is great? Is the NBA going to have to get into the that's not fair market value world like the NCAA is? Are they going to have to get into the, a tweet from Kawhi Leonard is not worth $7 million a year? Now, if he did absolutely nothing, that puts them in a tough spot. But it becomes very similar to what the NCAA is going through, which is you're going to have to put all your endorsements above $600 into this NIL Go third-party evaluator, and they will decide whether it is market value or not. And if it is not, then you are not allowed to accept that money. The only difference is you're not dealing with student athletes. You're dealing with multi-millionaires. You go into LeBron and tell him how much his tweet is worth. LeBron's going to say, you don't know media. My tweet is worth whatever somebody is willing to pay me to get to tweet it. And oh, by the way, I make a lot of money off my social media. So, yeah, that's a business deal of mine. You're not putting your hands in it, NBA. Or what about this? Let me ask you this question. I'm going to bring it even closer. I'm going to bring it all the way down. Do you know what was talked about a lot on Monday with everybody in town for the TCU-UNC game out there in Chapel Hill? Seth Trimble has become a franchisee, right? Seth Trimble, for those of you that don't know, one of the returning basketball players for the Tar Heels basketball team. He's a franchisee. He is matter of fact, according to some reports, the youngest Ben & Jerry's franchise owner. So he's flipping a little ice cream company, right? He's got a little storefront in Chapel Hill, which, by the way, is exactly what everybody wants to see players do with their NIL, right? You get NIL money, start an investment, set up passive income, set up a business that you can run. So even if basketball doesn't happen for him, he has a livelihood that he set up based on the backs of his NIL college earnings. Good on him. UNC booster walks in and says, I need the largest ice cream order you can get once a week for the next 2 years. And I'm going to pay top dollar for the ice cream, whatever the price is.
I'm going to leave a very generous tip.
I'm going to leave a very generous tip on top of an already enormous bill. And guess what it is? It's a person that bought ice cream. Are you not allowed to be any kind of business relationship with anyone involved with any part of your sport? What if Kawhi Leonard just started a business? What if he started a business and he was going to go make movies? Is no one that is friends with Steve Ballmer allowed to invest in that business to raise the evaluation of it? There are more loopholes than there are concrete, solid rules to any of this. And that's in college, which the NCAA is learning, especially when you have the enforcement power of punishments that the NCAA has, which seems to be darn near nothing. But even a big, massive conglomerate like the NBA, where other teams are concerned about it, right? When Kawhi Leonard signed with LA, multiple teams were like, including Toronto, including the Lakers, who were like, we thought we had him. What happened there in the last minute? I'm not saying it was this endorsement deal. I'm not saying it wasn't. But what I am saying is this can of worms, this toothpaste out of the tube isn't going back in anytime soon in college or in the NBA. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have football at 4 coming up next. But first, Dennis Cox with a message.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for just over a month now. It's been 5 weeks. 30 pounds down. 30 pounds down in just over a month with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And that's just real, raw numbers, folks. It's not me hyperbolizing. I actually had a meeting, appointment with them again yesterday afternoon. Stepped on the scale, 30 pounds down. My body fat percentage dropped. My visceral fat numbers, all that stuff, all have reduced in the last month thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And there's more benefits than just that as well. My clothes are feeling better, are fitting better. They are feeling better because they are fitting better. I'm sleeping better as well. My resting heart rate has improved. All these different things have just gotten better thanks to the weight that I've lost with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And you can get involved with it as well. And Raleigh Weight Loss Center, their goal is not to just have you lose the weight and reach the goal weight that you want to get to. It's also about maintaining that weight and doing it in a healthy way as well. No shots, no injections. You're not doing steroids, no HGH, none of that kind of stuff. It's just resetting and restarting your metabolism. And it has been working for me, and I know it could probably work for you too. That's why you got to go visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or just give them a call, 919-897-7506. Again, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. For football at 4, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN says the Panthers would not move Derek Brown in their conversations to potentially acquire Micah Parsons. Would you have done it? Stick around.
At Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate, you'll find the same family-owned real estate company you've trusted since 1957. But now they're bigger, better, brighter. They have more agents and more resources, which means more exposure to sell your home. Their proven expertise and innovative tools will help you find the right home around the corner or across the globe. And they invest in our local communities. Their promise to you is a homeownership experience that is different from all others. Visit howardhannatate.com to get started.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. That low humidity lingers for this afternoon. Feeling good out there with highs in the low 80s. Overnight lows are cool in the low 60s. But tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds. Late in the day we'll have a chance of showers, and that will continue into the evening. Tomorrow's a bit warmer with highs in the upper 80s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 25 points today to 45,270. This hour of the drive brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Case evaluations are always free. and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4. Now, I do think occasionally NFL fans of certain teams, any team really, get a little too carried away with the hypothetical trade scenarios. You know, I could solve this roster in 2 seconds. Just trade a second rounder for Jamar Chase and we're good. And it's like, yeah. No, but yeah. Got you.
If that's all it took, the deal would have been done already.
Exactly. Who says no? Who says no? We give up Trevor Etienne. We get back Jahmyr Gibbs. I
think Detroit would
the
say
Lions.
no.
The Lions are the ones that say no.
Yeah.
And they might actually not say no. They might say, Dan, are you all right? Do you need help? Is something up? We can get you some help. Should we call somebody? But when a team or a report kind of floats a structure or floats part of it, then it becomes more interesting because it's not just hypothetical fairyland trade ideas, right? It's not just, well, would you do this? There's something there. So we know that Micah Parsons was traded from Dallas to Green Bay. And you can assume that Jerry Jones, you would hope, at least talk to one other team, right? You would hope that he at least sensed if there was a market before selling one of the most valuable players ever sold in a trade in NFL history. And it turns out, according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, who was on with 105.3 in Dallas, the Panthers were one of the teams that had reached out, and this is Jeremy Fowler's reporting.
I know the Carolina Panthers inquired. They did not make a formal offer, but they did inquire, so they were in talks. And, we heard some whispers from league circles that Micah had interest in certain teams. Green Bay was one, but like a little bit of Baltimore, a little bit of Kansas City, Philadelphia. But we never really – some of those teams didn't look into it really. I know Kansas City didn't. There wasn't a lot of momentum in some of those other teams. But Carolina did look into it, and Dallas would have had reason to look into that because of Derek Brown, star defensive tackle. They were looking for those type of players, those interior D linemen. So that made some sense. But Carolina ultimately didn't want to move Brown and didn't move on that.
They didn't want to move Brown and didn't move on that. Now, we talked about it earlier. I like that they called. I like that they were in the mix. I like that they were price checking, making sure, nobody got the steal of all steals in a trade because, hey, I can beat that, right? Like, you wanted to make sure that happened. But I did. Listen, I like Derek Brown. Big fan. Haven't seen him in a while. Hasn't played in a game in a while. But I'm a big fan of Derek Brown. I think he might be the best run-stuffing defensive tackle in the NFL. And if he is able to level up to, 5.5, 6.5 sacks a season, I think he becomes an all-pro candidate. I think he's really gosh darn good. Hearing that reporting from Jeremy Fowler did make me go, well, what was the deal? What else did they want? How much did they value Derek Brown? Because let's be real, Micah Parsons plays a position that is more impactful, and he's pretty darn special. So the deal that the Dallas Cowboys ended up taking was Kenny Clark, a former Pro Bowler, 3-time Pro Bowler spread out over the last 7 or 8 years. Not last year, but most recently the year before. Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons. Now, I've come around to that being a decent price. My first reaction was like, they paid nothing for him. But then they had to pay him $47 million a year, and there's other things going on. So, okay. Derek Brown is worth more than Kenny Clark.
Especially at this stage. About 4 years of age difference and all.
And I would assume a Carolina Panthers first-round pick is more valuable than a Green Bay Packers first-round pick.
Yeah.
Just in the vacuum, just in the ether. If you put both on the open market, I think the Panthers pick would bring back more. If Jerry saw it that way, and you could get, say, Derek Brown and a first and nothing else, and it would have made Micah Parsons a Panther, I'm intrigued. Now, the salary still gets me a little leery, so I understand why Dan Morgan would eventually put down his foot. And also, a man's got to have principles, right? Like, also, if Derek Brown is one of your dudes, if he is a culture setter, if he is, like, you don't understand the value he brings, I completely respect if you have 3 people on your roster that are true, the moment their name comes up, you're hanging up. I respect that. I can't know that because I'm not in the locker room, right? I can't know what he brings to you as far as intangibles. But I would be a darn liar if I didn't think, as soon as I heard that from Jeremy Fowler, well, hold on. No, I'm not trading Derek Brown. Absolutely not. I'm not trading Derek Brown. But let's say I were to trade Derek Brown. What else would you need for Micah Parsons? And if then it went into, well, it would start with 2 firsts. Okay, never mind. I told you I wasn't trading Derek Brown. But if it came back with, like, well, we're reasonable, a first and Derek, then I'm going, ooh, could we talk him down off this a little bit? Then I'm going, ooh, what else do you need? Let's talk. Right? The only reason that I am in favor of always calling, which, by the way, if you remember handful of weeks ago, whatever it was, preseason time, it has no start, has no end. When Trey Hendrickson was holding out, there were 3 names referenced by reporters that had reached out to the Bengals, at least called, right? We don't know how in-depth these conversations got, that at least called on Trey Hendrickson, and one of those teams was the Panthers. And I was like, good, be in every conversation. I don't think you should spend much for him, but figure it out. Same thing here. Good. But the reason why I'm in favor of being in every conversation is for the off chance that you go, oh, actually, I can do that. Wait a second, that's all it's going to cost? I was just calling on a price check, and that's 50% of what I thought he was worth, just as a value play. Yeah, I'll buy that. Here you go. Right? Because the part that I think we all are getting really, really far away from is, and I think Jerry Jones might be the best reminder of this in history. The people that are running NFL teams are just humans, right? They have weird decision days too. You ever have that one? You make a decision, you wake up the next day. Why did I do that? Jerry Jones can do that. Or, again, what did I say today, Dennis? I'm quoting movies all day.
You've been on it.
Super bad. We can be that mistake.
Yeah.
Right? If Jerry Jones wants to do something stupid and you're calling up and he mentions Derek Brown and you go, absolutely not, only to then learn that it was going to be Derek Brown in a 4th for Micah Parsons because Jerry Jones is making a mistake, just hear him out. You know what I mean? I want to know how that conversation ended. Not because I'm anxious to get rid of Derek Brown. Matter of fact, I would be reluctant to give up Derek Brown. But if the deal is bananas, we can be that mistake. When Jerry is at the end of his career and he goes, you know what? Herschel Walker, that was a good one. Micah Parsons, that was a real bad one. We can be that mistake, right? Which is why I am kind of against, unless there is intangible stuff that we just will never know, right? If we take this guy out of the locker room, our entire house of cards falls apart, right? The Jenga piece that makes it collapse. Unless he's that guy with the intangibles, I don't like having those untouchable players in trades. What I do like having, and this is obviously not the case because Jeremy Fowler found out about it, what I like having is, if you tell anybody we even discussed trading this player and the deal doesn't get done, I will deny it and call you a liar to the entire media. Like, I will take this to my grave. Now, how much would you give me for J.C. Horn? Right? Like, that's how I would, like, me and you, we got to trust each other. If I'm trading you a deal that big, before we even discuss this, I just want to let you know, if this deal falls through and it doesn't happen, I'm still glad we had the conversation. I respect our relationship. If you tell anybody about it, I will deny it.
We never spoke publicly.
We never spoke.
We never spoke.
Someone comes up to you and goes, were you talking about trading for Derek Brown? I would go, I didn't even talk to Jerry.
Like, who's that?
Yeah, exactly. Derek Brown?
Well, here's the thing about Derek Brown. He was Chicago had asked about him in the trade when Carolina moved up back in 2023 to the number 1 pick from 9 to 1. And they said, no, you can't touch a Derek Brown. So they've said this once before, and that was to trade up to get the number 1 pick and obviously to draft Bryce Young. But Dan Morgan has said that we're going to be aggressive. Doesn't mean moves are going to be made, but we're going to be aggressive. And the fact that they are inquiring about Trey Hendrickson, Micah Parsons, that's an aggressive nature. That's an aggressive mindset. Again, price has to be right, situation has to be right, but we're going to call. And I like that from Dan Morgan. I like the fact that he's active with it. You made the comparison with Eric Tulsky, the Canes general manager. Every trade possibility you heard during the season last year, Carolina.
Like when Mikko Rantanen was traded to Carolina, do you know what the number one thing was? I don't even think this team knew he was available.
Yeah, no one knew.
That will never happen to Eric Tulsky.
No.
Right? If somebody's traded, he's going to go, yep, heard about that last week, talked to him about it. Their price was too rich for our blood, but I was extremely aware, and actually I almost got a third-round pick out of it to take on a little cap. Like, that's Eric Tulsky, right? And I want that to be every GM of a team that I care about. I want that to be Dan Morgan, right? When Micah Parsons was traded to the Packers, the world was surprised. Dan Morgan was sitting there like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. It was in the mix there for a little bit till they wanted Derek Brown. Like that's the way that it went, and I think that's good for the Panthers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Real quick, speaking of football, obviously we have professional football returning this weekend. The Panthers watch parties are back at Carolina Ale House. That's right, football is here, and Carolina Ale House is the place to be. With a massive beer selection, wall-to-wall TVs, and their award-winning wings, you'll never miss a play. Add in their lineup of homemade favorites, and you've got the best seat in the house. Bring your friends, bring your appetite, and help them create that game day atmosphere all season long at Carolina Ale House. Wings, beer, sports, repeat, ale, yeah. I will be at the Falls of Noose, the North Raleigh, Carolina Ale House this Sunday, right there for the 1 o'clock kickoffs. I'll be there. Come find me. Come enjoy some football. You never know. You might get some free food out of it. But I will be there this Sunday, 1 o'clock.
Football is back, and Dennis is out there potentially giving away some free food.
For the people.
Oh, such a sacrifice for you to go watch a game in an awesome atmosphere.
I mean, hey, the sacrifices that we are willing to make.
What a struggle for Dennis. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, I'm here. This isn't a struggle at all. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Game on, everybody. As you just heard us talking, football is back. Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks, anytime TD rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. I always say that it's more fun when you're kind of in like a group bet. I like when me and all my buddies bet on the same thing, right? Because then when it hits, we're high-five and we're celebrating. It gives me that team sport energy. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm a pretty diehard in the fantasy sports world, and I am heavily invested in CeeDee Lamb scoring a touchdown tomorrow night to open the season. He's plus 145 on DraftKings Sportsbook to score a touchdown. So if you want to metaphorically be jumping up and down and high-fiving me when your bet hits, CeeDee Lamb. By the way, lines and odds are subject to change, so plus 145 is what it stands right now. No guarantees in the future. New customers, I have something else for you to celebrate. Bet just $5, get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season, it starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with the ladder challenge. See who won August. Next.
99.9 The Fan, Newcomb and Company, Buffalo Brothers, and Atlantic Spas and Billiards Hot Tub and Sauna Expo want you to see hockey live in Las Vegas. It's our Sin City Skateaway. Listen to The Fan starting Monday. Keywords come your way every hour from noon to 6. Text in the keywords to enter to win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. We'll fly you to an amazing room at the Park MGM Resort, and we'll hook you up with tickets to the Carolina Vegas game. The Sin City Skateaway starts Monday only on 99.9 The Fan.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 at any size Sprite for $1.49. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome home. Your home is not just where you live, it's where life happens. At Baker Home Exteriors, we're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, understanding that your home should be as extraordinary as the life within it. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, or more, we transform houses into the homes you've always dreamed of. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and let's build something beautiful together. That's BakerHomeExteriors.com.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free. Select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. One coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 8/21 through 9/3.
My agent, I think he talked to a few teams, so I never really asked him because this is where I wanted to be. But I was either going to be here or not play, I think. It's kind of what it came down to.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. That was Hunter Renfrow discussing his decision to rejoin the Carolina Panthers in the aftermath of the Jalen Coker injury, quad injury suffered in practice last week. That'll put Coker on IR for the first month of the season at least. Here's a fun bit of information that I just learned. There's a video. It's WBZ News up in Boston. A reporter is interviewing Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. He was asked if they will build a Bill Belichick statue since they just made one for Tom Brady. Obviously, they combined for 6 Super Bowls for the Patriots. The response, I have the quote here for you. When Bill's coaching career ends, we look forward to sitting down with him and having a statue made to be right next to Tommy. So they're going to wait till he's done, even in the college ranks, before building the statue. Actually, I like criticizing NFL owners. Sometimes I'm like, let's just take on the billionaires for no reason. But I do actually respect that because what you don't want to have happen, and this happened with the Eagles and Doug Peterson, you don't want to build the statue and then have him return coaching for a different team. And it's like,
well, this is awkward.
Well, yeah, this is the house that you were, you know what? Never mind. So just wait till he's done coaching for sure, and then you go from there. At least until it seems like he's done coaching for sure. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. With that being said, let's jump to the ladder challenge.
Oh, my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
All right, I'm dreading this answer. The last time we made a pick, it was in August. Dennis had the lead. If Dennis got his pick right, he will have won the month. Dennis, how'd it go?
You're darn right I got my pick right.
Darn.
You're darn right I did.
That's fine, because I got mine wrong anyway, so at best I was hoping for a tie.
Did you really?
I had Alabama plus 2.5 over Florida State.
Whoops.
It's going to take me some time to get used to Alabama just not being Alabama at all. Loaf's poor effort pushed around by Florida State. But either way, it doesn't matter because you got it right, so you would have won the month anyway. During the upcoming commercial break, I'll have to, I'll say see you later to the trophy and send it into your studio just for a short month of September.
I mean, you don't see that trophy very often.
Oh, me and the trophy we've become rehashing our original relationship.
Oh, okay. I mean, you've only won 3 out of the 10 months we've done this.
Yeah, but a lot of those months, like you weren't here for a bunch of it, and I was sitting here just smoking the fill-in producers over and over again. We just don't have a trophy on that.
Okay.
There's things going on.
Yeah, I think you won one of those months, and I won the other one of those. But when the normal months, I've won, a lot more than you have.
Let's relax. All those baseball picks, they don't mean anything.
I don't know. They mean I get the trophy back over this way.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not denying the outcome, although I might find a reason to later. But we are starting up September, so as the defending champ, you do get to start it off.
Well, I'm going to go with got me up to over 5 times my money in the month of August. Back to baseball. Give me Cade Horton, who's actually pitching for the Chicago Cubs. They're playing the Atlanta Braves later on this evening. Give me Cade Horton to allow at least 1 earned run today. It's a minus 650. My $10 will turn into $11.53.
In my gambling career, occasionally you need to do something that I call going full Costanza.
Okay.
Now, there is an episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza realizes that throughout his life he has made decisions. And way more often than not, he would say almost 100% of the time, he makes the wrong decisions. Which he then connects to, I have the answer key. Whatever I would normally decide, I'm going to go to the exact opposite, because if I'm always making bad decisions, the opposite of the decisions I would make are always the right decisions. So when you get caught in a rut gambling, one of my moves to get me out of the streak, out of the schneid, off the schneid, is to go full Costanza. So I started thinking, day like today, what would I do normally in the ladder challenge? I'd probably find a baseball bet that I feel mildly okay with and just try to roll it, because there's not much going on right now, right? Football starts up in earnest tomorrow for the week. And I went, well, I got to do the opposite of that. What is the opposite? Tennis. U.S. Open's going on. Yannick Sinner, minus 4.5 games over Lorenzo Musetti.
What?
Minus 650. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Musetti? Musetti? Either way, I'm going full Costanza. I don't know. I do not follow tennis unless it's basically like Alcaraz Sinner in a Grand Slam final. So give me Sinner minus 4.5 games. I teased it all the way down to get it to minus 650. That'll turn my $10 into $11.53. It is the summer of George. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Any Seinfeld fans out there? I'm going with Sinner minus 4.5 games. Musetti. There you go. That's the ladder challenge. Early in the month of September, long way to go. Dennis, let's jump into a blind ranking, shall we?
All right, you mentioned the NFL season is getting underway in earnest tomorrow. So we're going to blind rank, Tim.
Explain to the people what that means.
So blind ranking is I'm going to give Tim a list of 5 either names or teams. And what Tim has to do with these 5 names and or teams is he has to slot them 1 through 5. And we're actually going to rank these 1 through 5, again, blindly. Tim does not know the teams I'm about to give him. We are ranking Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
Super Bowl contenders for this upcoming season. It's a blind ranking by Tim Donnelly. He does not know the team I'm going to give him, nor the order of which I'm going to give him. So he has to slot them 1 through 5. And once that slot is taken, can't be put there anymore. Simple as that.
I like this. I did better last time than I've done the first few.
Okay.
Maybe I'm getting into a rhythm learning the game.
Let's start things off here. First team I'm going to give you, the Green Bay Packers.
I like the Green Bay Packers. I like the Green Bay Packers.
I know you're very high on Jordan Love's ability.
I do like Jordan Love. I like the Green Bay Packers. I do like Jordan Love. I'm putting him number 2.
Putting them 2?
2. Well, I just think there's a lot of bad teams in the – I'm playing the numbers here, right?
Okay.
If you're like the 9th most likely to win the Super Bowl, and I'm not saying that's what they are. I'm just hypothetically speaking – there's way more teams below you than there are above you.
It's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Fair point.
And without knowing what you're coming with, unless you give me one of the top, 2 or 3 of the top 4 or 5 teams, I don't think I'd be that angry with the Packers being number 2. So I'm putting the Packers at 2.
Okay, next one, Washington Commanders.
3. Little bit below the Packers.
Okay.
I think there is going to be a slight regression to the mean for the Commanders. If you recall last year, there were some magical wins.
Yes.
Hail Marys, last-second momentary wins, which are great, but they're not quite repeatable, right? So I think they could come back down to the mean a little bit there. But still, middle of the pack, I think they're a playoff team, all that sort of thing.
Okay, so the first team I gave you, Green Bay Packers, you put them 2.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Washington Commanders, you put them at 3.
Correct.
Next one, Buffalo Bills.
All right, well, I'm a little take-locked here. Give me the Bills number 1. And
okay.
I actually think I'm lower on the Bills than most, but I'm not putting them outside of I'm not putting them below the Packers. Josh Allen is really gosh darn good. I wish they had 2 more playmakers on offense. I don't know if, James Cook last year had a billion touchdowns. He was on the field for 48% of the offensive snaps.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they had 2 more other than Josh Allen offensive playmakers, but there's something to be said for they've knocked on the door a whole bunch of years in a row. And would anyone be surprised if this is the year they score the 1 more touchdown they need to win the big game in the postseason? I don't think so. So they're number 1, and I am locked into number 4 and 5.
Okay,
that's what I have left.
Only has left is number 4 and number 5.
There's 6 teams here that would be really funny, but really disappointing if you gave me.
Okay, next one, Denver Broncos.
4.
Okay.
This might be a hot take with Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is really, really good when he doesn't have full control. Right? When he takes over someone else's roster and has to get those skill sets into his system, I think he's really good. I think he's a little worse when he's out there picking everything custom made to his system because it leaves a little something to be desired. So the more they go full Sean Payton, the more I think they're less likely to surprise. And they were an awesome surprise last year. But now, right, they get R.J. Harvey, the second-round pick running back that's supposed to play the joker position. They get, whatever it is, Evan Engram, the tight end, who's supposed to come in and be that Jimmy Graham wide receiving tight end that he has. And it's just I don't know. I like it better when he's almost challenged rather than everything fitting in nicely.
All right, so the first team I gave you was the Green Bay Packers. You put them at 2. The Washington Commanders was the next team I gave you. You put them at 3. Then I gave you the Buffalo Bills. You put them at 1. Then I gave you the Denver Broncos. You put them at 4, which means the only slot you have available is number 5, which goes to the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that was the risk. It's not good, but that was the risk. Is when I put the Packers at 2 originally, I said you'd have to give me 2 of the top, 3 or 4 or 5 teams to make this look dumb. And the Ravens and Bills are probably 2 of those top 3 or 4 or 5 teams. Yeah, but I'll go with this. Joel Bryant, high school OT. Mm-hmm. I don't even know the context of it, so this is very unfair that I'm quoting him on air this way. I don't even know who he was talking to, but his cubicle is kind of near our cubicle. And I was doing work this morning, doing prep for the show, and he was walking by, and I just heard him say to somebody, "Are you one of those people that falls for the Ravens every year?" That's a direct quote.
That's
and I thought, like, that's a funny thing. So I think this I probably could have been described as that in years past. I've picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl in the last couple of years here. I don't think I'm going to pick them to win the Super Bowl this year, but I also will not pick them to be behind Denver and Washington and Green Bay. So the Ravens should be higher, but that's the risk of doing a blind ranking and making it actually blind. No cheating here. Dennis, what do you think about my list?
I thought you're a little high on Green Bay from the get-go.
Would you have put them below anyone other than the Ravens?
Probably not.
Okay, so I'm one spot off. You would have the Ravens 2 and the Packers 3, and I would as well.
I would probably have them above Washington. I don't know. Both Washington and Green Bay have tough, like, divisional opponents in terms of Philadelphia, Detroit, those kinds of things. So I don't know. It's not going to be easy for either of those teams to even. I mean, I think they're both wild card teams, in all honesty.
I don't disagree with that. I just think I took a chance by putting the Packers at 2, and I almost hit. Like, I mean, if the one you gave me for the Ravens was anyone in the NFC South, was
pretty much the NFC West.
Yeah, like there's like 22 teams you could have given me there that would have worked. Because I think Denver's one, like Denver, maybe 20 teams. Denver might be like the 12th most likely to win Super Bowl. So there's 20 teams you could have given me there, and I would have nailed it. But instead, you gave me one of the probably 2 or 3 best teams in the league. I blame you.
You blame me? I didn't slot your blind ranking.
I'm allowed to blame whoever I want.
Not.
I mean, it's not fair, but I'm doing it. Does that make it feel any better? Man. Bills number 1, Packers number 2, Commanders number 3, Broncos 4, and then the blind side shot, Ravens number 5. Blind ranking complete. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's always fun. It is a challenge, and I enjoy playing that game. I do. By the way, you'll enjoy our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. Subscribe while you're there. Set alerts. Check out all the different playlists, all the different podcasts. There's Panthers Playbook. There's Pack Therapy, new episode out just a couple hours ago today, looking at NC State versus Virginia this weekend. There's Canes Corner. If you haven't done so, what was it, last week? Was it only last week where Adam had the long sit down with Rod Brindamore?
Yeah, I think it was Monday of last week.
Time is that feels like it was a month ago. But
it may have been, actually.
If you haven't done so yet, go check out that interview on the Canes Corner podcast, as well as all of the clips of this show, Adam Gold Show, and much, much more. It's all on our YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan. Search for it, subscribe, tell your friends. And now let's hit a little hit it and quit it, shall we?
I want you to
hit it and quit it. I'll start us off with the first. ACC talking about going to 9 conference football games. They currently play 8. Dennis, do you like or dislike 9 games for the ACC?
The one concern I have when it comes to adding more conference games is the fact that that's a guaranteed loss for a team in your conference.
Guaranteed win also.
It is a guarantee, but again, you're literally going 500 here. That's the one thing that concerns me, is that you're literally adding a conference game is adding 17 more losses to your conference.
True.
Which I don't think, as the season goes along, if you were able to beat, let's say, I don't know, like a Kansas State, which is again a power conference school, but now the wins start to add up more for your conference as opposed to just getting 500. I think the more 8-9 win teams you have in the conference as a whole is better. That's my one big pushback when it comes to adding a 9th conference game. Because I don't know as well as that, does the ACC really have the depth to actually really strengthen your schedule by adding another conference game? Because someone might be getting Wake Forest or Stanford as their extra conference game, and really what benefit is that going to do for them in terms of potentially trying to make the college football playoff, as opposed to, hey, let's go play West Virginia.
I know this has gone bad for the ACC in the past, but you're going to need some eye contact handshakes across the conference to have the one more conference game replace a cupcake non-conference game and not have it replace awesome non-conference games that allow you to raise the level of your program. Because The other thing is if you're playing non-conference games and they're awesome non-conference games, that's risk reward, right?
For sure.
Because if you have 17 teams in the conference, right? So if you take those 17 teams and they all play a non-conference game, it could be 17 wins. It could also be 17 losses, right? So if you play one more conference game, it would be 8.5 more wins and 8.5 more losses. It's risk and reward to play non-conference games. If you're playing real non-conference games, if you're going to go play, Southwestern, Northeastern Louisiana, then you'll obviously add on wins, but I don't think you're gaining much from those at all.
I think the ACC as part of this will require you to play at least one power conference opponent outside of the ACC. So you're going to play 10 power conference opponents, 9 in conference, 1 outside. Then, okay, if you want to, grab a group of 6 or an FCS school as, your other 2 games, then so be it. But at least one. And honestly, I think we're going to get to the point where SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC are all going to go uniform and say 9 non-conference games or 9 conference games, at least 1 out-of-conference game against another school from one of these conferences. I think you're eventually going to see that. But I hope we don't lose to LSU Clemson, because Clemson's going to play South Carolina at the end of the year.
And do you know what's going to become really funny? Everybody knows bye games, right?
Yeah.
Where the big schools pay a FCS opponent or Group of 5 opponent to come to their place and just come to the bigger schools stadium and just get smacked, right? You're going to start to see go to the I'm going to have to pick a team that is I'm going to try to pick one that they're let's see here. UCF, Houston perhaps, or if you're going to Vanderbilt or Stanford, the big schools are going to pay them because they want to get as close as they can to a sure win and also check off their power conference requirement, right? So Stanford's suddenly going to be playing LSU and getting paid $4 million to do it because LSU just doesn't want to have to go play a real power conference game. Hey, everybody's got a price.
I also hope we don't lose the in-state cross-conference matchups like the Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia, Georgia Tech. I hope we don't, the Florida State. I hope we don't lose those.
If you're just requiring them to do a non-conference power conference game, to me, those schools go, sweet, done.
Yeah.
We got ours scheduled for the next 100 years. We don't have to worry about it. At least I hope that's how they treat it. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Speaking of schedule changes, it looks like the NFL is possibly wanting to. We know they want to expand to 18 games for a regular season, but it looks like, Tim, that they want to make it where the Super Bowl falls on President's Day weekend. So we're talking about extending the schedule not only by an extra game, but also maybe adding in an extra bye week, so a longer season. But people will get President's Day off the day after the Super Bowl, which is what people want, Tim.
This is Roger Goodell, who's no dummy.
He's not.
Look at the shiny thing. Look at the shiny thing over here. Look at the shiny thing over here while he's doing the dirty work with the other hand. You know what I mean? Everybody, you want the Monday off after the Super Bowl? I can do that for you. Look at this. Look at this. I can give you the Monday. You can get as drunk as you want watching the Super Bowl, knowing you don't have to go to work the next day. Hey, look here, look here, look here. Meanwhile, down here with the other hand, he's scheduling an additional game. And player safety, what is that? More games, more money for me. But you get the day off after the Super Bowl, the day off. That's what he's distracting with, right? I'm fine with adding another game. I'm fine with making the day off, the Monday, whatever, President's. You do whatever you want to do there. I just want to make sure the players get their cut, right? If you're going to add another game, if you're going to add another week, you better add another game check. You better add another week's game check. I don't want the billionaires being the only ones getting all the cash. Matter of fact, I think you should take one extra game check and give it to local radio hosts. But that is a different beast. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was a quick hit it and quit it there. But we have to move on because we have Mike Glennon and his insight into Hunter Renfrow being added to the Panthers. Mike is an old teammate of Hunter Renfrow, so if you want to hear that, stick around. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. One of the things I love about this time of year is the weather starts to turn it's just a lot easier to get out on the motorcycle. I don't have to deal with all the nasty heat and everything that we have to deal in the summertime. But make sure as a rider out there that you're safe out there on the road. And also as a driver and a motorcycle rider, did you know that roughly 1 in 8 vehicles here in the state of North Carolina, that driver is either underinsured or uninsured? So if you get in an accident, well, if they're underinsured or uninsured, well, you have to go to the hospital. Well, whose policy then has to take care of that hospital bill? It's yours. So make sure that your policies are up to date with your insurance in case you are involved in an accident, because there might be a situation that comes about where your insurance actually has to kick in and help cover some of those medical costs. That is the reason why you got to make sure your insurance is up to date. But if you are a motorcycle rider and you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call, and give them a call first. Law Tigers, their attorneys are part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free, and they don't get paid a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, as I just said. Earlier today, caught up with Mike Glennon, NC State legendary quarterback, 10-year NFL veteran, and that conversation where he gives us insight into his old teammate, Hunter Renfrow, and what he might bring to the Carolina Panthers this season. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The Green Bay Packers, in my opinion, are right there with the Philadelphia Eagles as far as the NFC when we're talking Super Bowl contenders, and they better get this done. You add Micah Parsons to this defense that's already a formidable unit, you take a step forward. The expectations are raised for your organization.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixings to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special. Interested in a career with Bojangles? Then stop by Bojangles Hiring Day, September 4th. Click bojanglesrdu.com/hiring day for more details.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Snap back to Bailey. Turns and gives to Smothers. Plunges behind his blocker. Leans in off left side. Touchdown. 2-yard Hollywood Smothers plunge.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Joining us in studio, Mike Glennon, former legendary NC State quarterback, as well as, got to hit legendary, as well as 10-year NFL veteran, joins us weekly here to break down state as well as give us some insight into what it's like from the inside in the NFL. Mike, you have unique perspective on the biggest news for the Carolina Panthers. Jalen Coker goes on the IR, quad injury. He's out for a month. So they go back to a guy they just cut straight off the couch and into the starting lineup. Dave Canales said he's starting. Your former teammate with the was it the Oakland Raiders at the time?
Oakland Raiders.
With the Oakland
Last year
Raiders.
of Oakland.
Hunter Renfrow, Pro Bowler for the Raiders at one point in time. From what you know about him, will he be ready to go straight from the couch in his South
Watching
Carolina
Bluey.
home, watching Bluey with the kids, to this weekend he's going to be in the starting lineup against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
That's what's always funny to me about the NFL, and I get the business side of it, cap, all this different stuff. Special teams often play a big role into who makes the team at the receiver position, but it's like, how does it go from this guy being cut to, you clearly didn't have him in your top 6. How many did they keep? How many?
They kept 7.
They kept 7. So he wasn't in your top 7 receivers to now, due to one injury, he's now starting for you. It's just funny how that works. But I'm sure Hunter
and a
will,
trade. There was a pretty high-profile trade.
True. But at that point, why they didn't sign him right after.
Correct.
They got rid of Thielen. So Hunter will be ready. I'm excited for him to kind of take a few years off. Sounds like, sometimes it happens. You go through different circumstances, different coaches, and you kind of fall, you lose the love for the game, but it sounds like he wanted to give it another try. Panthers kind of brought that love back. And if I know one thing about Hunter is he's an unassuming guy. I mean, you see him walking by you on the street, he's probably the most unassuming NFL player there is in the league. He does not look like much, but the guy just finds a way to get open and make plays. So I'm excited for him. I think he'll be someone that's good for Bryce as a guy that can get open on third down when needed. And we'll see kind of what he's got left. I mean, he is older now. Mm-hmm. He's 28, 29?
I can tell you right here, he is 29.
29 years old.
He will turn 30.
That hasn't played in 2+ years. So we'll see what he's got left in the tank. But if he's anything like he was, when he was with the Raiders, he'll be productive for the Panthers.
The question I have, right, because he talked to the media after being brought back on the team, and he gave some insight into the conversation he had with Dave Canales when they cut him. And Canales said something, and I'm paraphrasing, something about like, I think you'll get back, but you're not quite there physically yet. Is his game one where, like, if he used to run a 4.5 and now he's running a 4.62, it impacts it a lot? Because I look at his and that's just, I'm guessing on the numbers, but I'm wondering if, he might be one of those guys, you see it in basketball. Like if you're not dunking a lot and, you have a 19-inch vert when you were a rookie, it's like, all right, he can play till he's 40 because it's not like he depends on his athleticism a ton. Like, can he get out there and be effective even if he's not, the athlete he was at 25?
He's not he's never been a speed guy. Mm-hmm. So to me, if he's lost a little bit of speed, that's not what his game ever was. He was never a burner where he, think of like Tyreek Hill, who's lived on his speed. If he loses a 10th or 2 off his 40, like that's a
takes away some of his special
game. Yeah. Hunter's game is his wiggle and how he just has this kind of nuances in his route running to get open. So as long as he still has that, then it doesn't matter to me if he's slowed down at all. He's just got to find a way, to run his routes. It's an unorthodox way. I can't exactly describe it, but I can visualize it, where he kind of has this forward lean, steps on the guy's toes, and does something with his head, and it works. And I've seen him actually catch a ball where he did show his speed. We were playing against the Chargers in when they played in that old LA soccer stadium, and he ran a short route, broke a tackle, and took it like 70 yards. So, again, that's not really his game, but I think he'll find a way to get open.
We're talking with Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback, longtime NFL quarterback. One more question about Renfrow. When Thielen was traded away, and obviously, with the restructure and everything, it's pretty obvious that he wanted out. But when he was traded away, one of the most common refrains from Panther fans that I heard was, now your first 3 wide receivers are a rookie, a second-year undrafted free agent, and a second-year first-round pick, and they kept Bryce and Tremaine, another young guy, and they have Jimmy Horn, another rookie. And part of the worry was, like, Thielen was supposed to lead that group. Renfrow, is he somebody that will welcome in the mentorship of a player like Xavier Legette or Teteroa McMillan or whoever's there?
100%. I mean, Hunter's as good of a guy as there is, and he's just super down to earth, super friendly, and he's going to do whatever he can to help them. Now, how much can he help T-Mac's game?
This is how I get open. Now you're 6'5", do it like me.
Talk about 2 totally different type of players, but I would imagine like Coker would definitely benefit from being around Hunter. I mean, Hunter was a guy that, like, basically creating routes. Like, he was a guy doing the out, the 5-yard out, then in, then back out, whereas, like, that would never actually work in a game. And then he does it in a game and it works. So he's creative.
Trayvon Merrick got caught in some one-on-one viral clips against Hunter Renfrow in training camp. And I did a few times go, all right, eventually the quarterback has that's a 6-second route, and he's just over there giving him the 1-2, back in, I'm like, all right, Merrick, like I get why you might be upset with that one. I lied. One more question about Renfrow. You've brought up how unorthodox he is a few times. Will that take an on-ramp for Bryce to get used to the, whatever you said, stepping on toes and head wiggles that other guys don't have?
I would imagine he's seen enough of it in kind of training camp to get a feel for it, but he's going to be your kind of choice route runner, and a lot of times it's like the receiver's in control of this route at this point. It's not up to the quarterback which way you're going to go. You have to have trust in it, and it is getting a feel for it because he might trick you. You might think he's going out when really he's going in because of the way he kind of moves his head and his body. So there may be some of that, but I would imagine Bryce has worked with him enough through training camp to get a feel for his route running.
I can't recall. I feel like I remember your NFL career pretty well. Were you ever in a room that had to scheme up a Bill Belichick defense?
Oh, yeah.
When you watched on Monday night, and I assume you did, it was the only game on, against TCU, did it look like the defenses you used to have to scheme up? Did you see the principles or whatever you used to remember?
It's tough sometimes to see when you're just watching the TV coverage, or the TV film where you can't see what everyone's doing. Typically, Belichick is a guy that likes to play a lot of man coverage and then on third down throw some kind of crazy blitzes at you. Whatever they were doing wasn't working, so I imagine it's going to be a little bit of back to the drawing board. I will say he is great at understanding who he's got, what their weaknesses are, but his goal always has been make the opposing quarterback play left-handed. That was always the strategy. Make them feel uncomfortable where you're not just going to give them an easy look. And clearly they did not make the TCU quarterback play left-handed because he was carving them up all day.
Do you have any familiarity with the Freddie Kitchens offense?
I am very familiar with the Freddie Kitchens offense. He took over as an interim OC when I was with the Giants.
So he's obviously the offensive coordinator. Did that bring back feelings of remembrance?
It did feel like they stuck with the run game a little bit too long. I'm all for establishing the run, but at some point it's like we got to throw the ball around, and you cannot go over 2 hours of real life without completing a pass. Find the guy a completion somehow, some way, get him going, and when we're down by 21 plus points, I'm not saying we have to completely abandon the run, but we got to become a pass offense first.
We're talking with Mike Glennon, longtime NFL quarterback, and obviously prior to that, starred at NC State. If you want his insight into NC State football, a breakdown in depth of State's win over ECU last week, and obviously a preview for Virginia this week, we co-host the Pack Therapy podcast. It can be found everywhere podcasts can be found, including our 99.9 The Fan YouTube. So we encourage you to go ahead and check that out to get as much insight into State as you possibly can. But as we often do when we have these little NFL chats on the drive, I do want to sneak in one NC State question at the end, and it's usually the same format. State is favored by 2.5 against Virginia this weekend at home, Saturday game. Fill out the if-then. If blank happens, then NC State will cover the 2.5 and win by at least a field goal.
If NC State can establish the run and really coming from the offensive line. It can't all come from Hollywood Smothers. If NC State can establish a run, they'll win this game.
And again, this is kind of a preview of the Pack Therapy episode this week, but you bring that up because it's something that concerned you.
Yeah,
from the
last
game.
week the offensive line just point blank wasn't good enough in the run game. They weren't creating enough holes. ECU's defensive line was driving us backwards, and quite frankly, Hollywood Smothers was making chicken salad out of chicken poop at times, and that's just not going to cut it against an ACC opponent. So they're going to have to do a better job getting Hollywood Smothers going, creating some holes so he can get to full speed and do what he does best, which is run by people.
And you know what I love about this conversation, Mike? You said something and you backed it up immediately. You said I'm all for establishing the run when talking about the Freddie Kitchens offense, and then you doubled back with they couldn't run the ball, they have to establish the run, rather than saying what I think a lot of quarterbacks would want to say, which is if the offensive line ain't opening up the holes, let C.J. Bailey cook. Teddy Hoffman, Wesley Grimes, Noah Rogers, let it fly. No, he's still focusing on the run, everybody. Mike, we appreciate you as always.
Thanks, Tim.
Once again, that's Mike Glennon, and you can hear more of his insight and our conversations about NC State football on the Pack Therapy podcast. New episode out today. Everywhere podcasts can be found, including our 99.9 The Fan YouTube channel. I have some good news, everybody. Hockey fans, get ready. The Sin City Skateaway is back. Starting next Monday, September 8th, listen weekdays from noon to 6 right here on this station, 99.9 The Fan. And once an hour, we're going to give away a keyword, give out a keyword. You hear the keyword, you text it in. We'll give you the number at the time. You text it in before the end of the hour. That's an entry into the running for an ultimate Vegas hockey trip, which means every day starting next Monday, you can have 6 entries into the Sin City Skateaway if you listen to 99.9 The Fan from noon all the way through 6 o'clock. Then on Monday, September 22nd, one lucky winner will be chosen out of all those entries, and they'll win a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on October 20th. They will also receive round-trip airfare for 2 and a 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino with a $400 food credit. How you like that? Don't miss your shot at and your shot every hour at the Ultimate Hockey Getaway, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. Make sure you tune in noon to 6 starting on Monday.
And we can't win, can we?
We're not allowed to win.
Dang, okay.
But you win more by giving than receiving, so we're already big winners because we're going to give it to the winner.
Of course.
Yeah, okay. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. We're all winners as well when it comes to Maynard Service Company because we win the peace of mind that comes with knowing Maynard Service Company is a part of our community. They are servicing the entire triangle. So no matter where you're listening to this, all over the triangle, and 24/7 service. That peace of mind, that's a winner right there. If something happens in your house, electrical, plumbing, cooling, heating, right? Whether it's you turn on the lights in the middle of the night and they don't turn on. Something popped in the electrical side of things. Whether it's I hear a dripping, did you either not put the faucet all the way closed or do we have a bigger problem? Bigger problem? Maynard Service Company. Cooling, heating, anything going wrong with those systems, Maynard Service Company. Now, I hope all of you have nothing go wrong to your house ever. But I also hope you have the peace of mind of knowing Maynard Service Company is there to help out if it does, if something does happen. So remember this number, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993 for Maynard Service Company. You can also visit them online at maynardservices.com, MAYNOR services.com. We'll take a break. We have the starting 5 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. All the best teams, all the cool traditions, and all the touchdowns.
Lopez in the pistol with Hood behind him. He will hand to him. Hood right side. Slithers through and powered home. Touchdown, Carolina. What a start. for Belichick in the heel.
College football on the Fan is powered by Roofworks and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10 by 10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, folks. Dennis Cox here from my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, if you have struggled with your weight, something that I have done, especially as I've gotten into my late 30s, you definitely need to listen to this. I can say through Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program, I've been doing it for about a month now, just over a month. I'm down nearly 30 pounds. That's right, 30 pounds down thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And that's just the start. The program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is all about resetting and restarting your metabolism. No shots, no injections, so none of those side effects. We're not doing steroids, not doing HGH. It's just your body losing a half pound to a pound a day and doing it in a way where you can also maintain that goal weight as well. That's the thing. You want to maintain that goal weight, not just get there. You want to keep it there. My clothes fit better. I have more energy. I'm sleeping a lot better thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call. 919-897-7506. 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. Comfortably cool again tonight. 60 the low. Cooler rural locations will definitely be in the 50s. 88 the high for your Thursday. It's breezy. It's a little bit more humid. And watch out for late day and evening storm.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 24 points today to 45,271. Market update brought to you by Allen Tate. Whether you're buying or selling, you want the best real estate agent. Howard Hanna Allen Tate is the Carolina's #1 real estate company for a reason. Call a Howard Hanna Allen Tate agent today.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, on a Wednesday on NFL Eve. Does the game start tomorrow? I probably didn't have to explain that one, but just in case. It is a wonderful time of year. And it's a wonderful time of day, 5 o'clock for the starting five. Let's get into it.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Carolina Panthers, as we start with the number 5, have revealed their unofficial depth chart to start the year. You're darn right they have. With a few things that we notice, right? One of them is at wide receiver, where the starters are what we expected, right? It's Xavier Legette, Teteroa McMillan, Hunter Renfrow, and Hunter Renfrow would have been a surprise if we didn't have the last week of reporting where he was re-signed, and Dave Canales on Panther Talk, which you could hear right here on 99.9 The Fan, Monday evenings, already revealed he would be a starter. But the second string is a little bit of interesting news here. The second string was listed as Bryson Tremaine and David Moore, with third string being Jimmy Horn Jr. and DeLe'Veon Campbell. DeLe'Veon Campbell, one of their waiver claims after 53-man roster cuts, mostly a special teamer. I'm going to be honest. Bryson Tremaine, David Moore, and DeLe'Veon Campbell, up until maybe today, I would have described all three of them as mainly special teamers. And Tremaine being on the second string with Jimmy Horn Jr. on the third, granted on an unofficial depth chart that we should take with a grain of salt. Still, Tremaine remains a mystery to me. Apparently, the dude had such a good training camp that he went from relative complete unknown to resting the third game of the preseason with the starters and now being listed as a second-string NFL wide receiver on an active roster. That's pretty darn impressive for old Bryson Tremaine. I want to give him credit where credit is due. The only reason I can think of for perhaps this making sense, but even as I say it, I'm going to go, this isn't true, but I'm going to say it anyway. Bryson Tremaine's listed at 6'4". Perhaps it's like a direct backup to Teteroa McMillan because they almost have like instead of like X, Z, W, whatever you call the wide receivers, they have like tall guy, short guy, slot guy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, he's our tall guy backup because if the tall guy gets hurt, we slide in another tall guy and the play calling doesn't change.
I mean, he might be slightly taller. I've seen them both in person. I mean, they're the same height at least. Bryson Tremaine might be slightly taller. He's a little bit bigger. Like, Teteroa McMillan's a little bit longer, lankier. Bryson Tremaine is not a small individual at all.
So maybe he's there because, like, well, we can't have Jimmy Horn Jr. as the second string. He wouldn't fill the tall guy category.
It's true.
I don't know. It's just other than that, that's basically the only thing I found that is worth bringing up. The at outside linebackers, the two rookies are both second string, but they're behind the expected veterans in DJ Wanham and Pat Jones, so that's not exciting. There's really not much surprise, I guess I would say. Although Nick Scott starting at the safety outside or opposite of Trevon Merrick, I don't think that's a surprise. I just hope that's not kind of how it plays out. I would be more excited if Damani Richardson or Lathan Ransom ended up starting there. But I'm not surprised it's Nick Scott. Did anything stand out to you, Dennis?
No, nothing really stood out to me in any sort of crazy way. I think the biggest thing I was looking for was mostly just the injury report, which also came out today as well. Ike Ekwonu didn't practice, still recovering from the appendectomy that he had to have last week. And then just a couple guys with some bumps and bruises. Damian Lewis had the shoulder. Robert Hunt's dealing a little bit of a foot injury. And there's one other guy listed there as well. It was Damari Mathis, the corner that they just got off of waivers from Denver. All three of those guys I just mentioned last were limited participants in practice today, but Ike Ekwonu is just, he's going to have to wait and see how things are on Friday. But Tommy Tremble, not listed. Coming back from the back surgery, not listed on the injury report, which I think is a big sign too.
That's the other thing about these depth charts, right? There's a lot of depth charts coming out across the league, a lot of reactions to it. Sometimes it's really not an order, it's a situation, right? Because like Jatavian Sanders is listed as the starting tight end with Tommy Tremble as the second string tight end, and then Mitchell Evans, the rookie, as the third string tight end, then James Mitchell as the fourth tight end. I would argue the top three are actually Mitchell Evans might be a more traditional backup to Tremble, but Sanders and Tremble are borderline not even playing the same position, right? It's like he's not really behind him as much as he is the starter in different situations. If you need somebody to like be an inline tight end blocking, Jatavian Sanders is not your first string tight end. If you need somebody split out wide running a seam route, Tommy Tremble's not your second string tight end probably. It's a different beast there. So, like there's spots all over the league where it's like, oh my gosh, this running back is listed as the third string running back. I'm like, yeah, he's the third string running back. He's also the starter on third downs and passing downs. Like he's behind the guy that's going to go first and second down, but he's not behind him in a bunch of situations. It's just you need a linear depth chart for depth chart purposes. Last observation I'll give you, and this is if you're deep in the weeds. I continue to just be mildly surprised that Jimmy Horn Jr. is so far down in the return rankings. Trevor Etienne is a rookie. He's the top kick returner and, as of right now, punt returner on their unofficial depth chart. Jimmy Horn Jr. in kick returner is behind Rico Dowdle and David Moore, then Jimmy Horn Jr. in fourth. And in punt return, it goes Trevor Etienne, then David Moore, then Jimmy Horn Jr., and only three are listed. So I just
don't be shocked if Jimmy Horn Jr. is a game day inactive on Sunday.
I know, but I like the pop. He's got some sizzle to him, and in the return game, I like that. But you're probably not making the team only the active roster only as a returner, unless you're Cribbs or Hester or something. Side note, complete side conversation, but it's one of the more ridiculous things I've ever seen. Did you see the return for it's a oh my goodness. It's I believe a school around here. Oh, this is going to annoy the heck out of me. College returner went viral. Oh, it's going to kill me. It might start with an F. All right.
You lost me.
The returner's name is Devin Hester Jr.
Okay.
And he had like a 70-yard kick return and was one of the 10 fastest players in college football, according to Real Analytics.
Was it FAU?
It was not FAU. I'll find out during the commercial break.
Okay.
Devin Hester Jr., the internet's telling me he's not related to Devin Hester.
Oh.
He's an unbelievable returner.
Oh, Furman.
Told you.
Got research on that.
Thank you. It started with an F, kind of around here. I was there. Not related to Devin Hester. Just Devin Hester Jr., a great returner. Not related to Devin Hester Sr.
All right.
Bananas. What number is that? 3? Let's get to number 2.
No,
or whatever we're
5.
supposed to get to.
Yeah, we're on
5.
4 now.
Let's get to 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
Kawhi Leonard apparently got some fake money.
Yeah.
If you listen to the reporting done by one Pablo Torre.
It's not fake if I can spend it.
He can definitely spend it. Pablo Torre unveiled revealed some documents he found that has a $28 million endorsement deal signed by Kawhi with the company Aspiration, which is an environmental company, kind of vague on what it does. Turns out, according to the reporting by Pablo Torre, he couldn't find Kawhi doing anything to earn that money, which raises his eyebrows. Then he learned that company, Aspiration, had a $50 million funding move from the owner of the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, who's one of the richest people in the world, which may imply, if you connect dots, and Pablo Torre does so, that the Clippers found a way to give $28 million to Kawhi Leonard and have that not count towards salary caps or team salary or anything else, and he didn't have to do anything for it. We talked about this earlier. You can go rewind on our YouTube live stream to find it, but I'll give you just the other side. Ready? You want to hear the other side? One Mark Cuban jumped into the mix, and let's just say he does not agree with Mr. Torre's reporting. I'll go with this. I'll read just part of it. Mark Cuban on Twitter. I'm on Team Ballmer. As much as I wish they circumvented the salary cap, first, Steve isn't that dumb. If he did try to feed Kawhi Leonard money, knowing what was at stake for him personally and his team, do you think he would let the company go bankrupt, knowing all creditors would be visible to the world? Which is where Pablo Torre found some of this information in the bankruptcy records. They got scammed by Aspiration along with many others, crimes for which they pleaded guilty last week. Scammers do scammy things. And then he goes on to explain maybe some other motivation for why Aspiration would do this. I guess smart people on both sides. Billionaires talking about bigger billionaires, because Cuban is not in the billionaire neighborhood of Steve Ballmer, which is crazy to say, but it's true. It's an interesting deal. There's a lot of nuance. I think it could impact all levels of sports, including college, which would obviously strike close to us. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3.
Let's do that hockey.
Shout out to Steven for on jumping on Twitter quickly to tell me Hester Jr. played for Furman. I like when people respond to me having brain freezes on air. Dennis, the Carolina Hurricanes have some new uniforms. Describe them to the people. Just because I'm bad at fashion, so saying like, well, it's a sleek, white base with red and black accents. I'm not good at that. So give us the deal.
If you look back at the Stadium Series uniforms that the Carolina Hurricanes had, the all black with the large red hits on the sleeves and the red and black logo on the center, it's a reimagining of that because it's a white uniform. This is what they're going to wear on the road. So again, white base, large red and black sleeves, not completely in the sleeve, but large red and black hits on the sleeve, and it's the Canes' primary logo, at least the shape of it is, but the color blocking of it is of just red and black. So it's still not their traditional Canes logo where it's red, white, and black hits all throughout. So that's what it looks like. Red pants, big red and black on the socks, red helmet, but it's a reimagining of the Stadium Series uniform that they had back in 2023 when the Canes hosted the Washington Capitals at Carter Finley. That's what it is. Even some of the small details on it, like the Stormy that kind of looks like the old NC State logo, walking with the sweater on, that's on one shoulder. The North Carolina State flag is on the other shoulder, which I think are really cool hits as well. I like the fact that the primary logo is being used finally on a Canes uniform. First time we've seen that in a few years. But I still wish it was the colorway of the actual Canes logo. The logo that you see in the middle of the ice.
And on a lot of
and like all the graphics that you see everywhere.
On TV. Yeah.
It's amazing that a pro sports team doesn't use that logo as a primary logo on a uniform. That's the one gripe I have about the uniform. Otherwise, I think it is a cool uniform, but it's my one gripe, I would say.
I haven't counted, but the Canes might lead the league in logos.
They do.
They just got a lot of them. They got a lot of different logos. Not to say I like or dislike that. I'm just saying they've got a bunch of them. Scale of 1 to 10. You like the road uniforms? 10 being their
absolute fire.
The Chargers powder blues. 1 being the weird retros that the Packers wear that look like they're not Packers uniforms.
I would go with the 6.5.
Okay.
So it's a solid uniform. Again, there are some things about it that I wish were better.
Okay. Fair.
I get 6.5. It's a solid. It's not bad. It's solid.
That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us.
The ACC is reportedly considering 9 conference football games being a part of their structure moving forward. We've debated the pros and cons of it, right? The good, the bad. It's better for your media partners. They get obviously more games to air, more games to choose from, probably better games. It may be a little bit risky, right? Because if you don't take care of business in your small non-conference schedule, you could just have, teams bouncing off each other in space. And does anybody really care if, the 57th best team in the country is playing the 80th best team in the country and neither of them have any CFP implications? And then if the 15th best team in the country plays a bunch of 80th best teams in the country, did they have enough to move up into the top 12 that they need to for the CFP? There's a lot of questions to get at there that would have to be ironed out. I'm going to look at this from a sociology standpoint. You know what I don't like about it? The ACC's kind of following the SEC. Go to 10, right? I see your 9 games, SEC, and I raise you 1 more, right? I just don't like how it seems nothing changes in college football until the SEC wants it to. Oh, look at this. The SEC is going to 9 games. And now everybody else will consider going to 9 games. I be a trendsetter, not a follower. Be a shepherd, not a sheep. ACC. Or do the reverse. We're going to 5 ACC games. I don't know. Do something crazy. We're playing an exclusively ACC schedule. No non-conference game. All right. No bad ideas at first, but we cross them out pretty quick. We'll cross that one off. It was written on the whiteboard. We not permanent ink.
Easily erased. That's fine.
I just don't like how it seems nothing changes until the SEC wants it to, and then everything just happens so easily after that. They're always the first domino that falls. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. Apparently, the Panthers called about Micah Parsons before he was traded from the Cowboys to the Packers. That, according to reporting done by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Here he is on 105.3 in Dallas.
I know the Carolina Panthers inquired. They did not make a formal offer, but they did inquire, so they were in talks. And, we heard some whispers from league circles that Micah had interest in certain teams. Green Bay was one, but a little bit of Baltimore, a little bit of Kansas City, Philadelphia. But we never really some of those teams didn't look into it really. I know Kansas City didn't. There wasn't a lot of momentum in some of those other teams, but Carolina did look into it, and Dallas would have had reason to look into that because of Derek Brown, star defensive tackle. They were looking for those type of players, those interior D linemen. So that makes some sense. But Carolina ultimately didn't want to move Brown and didn't move on that.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we react to that report from Jeremy Fowler, Dennis did just double-check me on that one. Apparently the Big Ten plays 9 conference games, but I still think my point stands because they've been doing it since 2016. And the ACC didn't do it over the last 9 years, and then the SEC announces it, and now they're like, we'll consider it. So I actually give the Big Ten credit for doing something that everybody else wasn't doing, and even when everybody didn't follow, they held their ground for a little bit there. But goodness gracious, ACC, think maybe that stick at 8 if everyone else is going to 9. Be unique in some way. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now we can react to Jeremy Fowler on ESPN, of ESPN, talking about the Micah Parsons trade. Dennis, as I've voiced my opinion on this a lot. I love when you are in the mix for trades that you don't make, because I think it shows that you are involved. You're aware. Nothing will surprise you. You're aware of market prices and everything in the league. But also, it shows a bit of self-control, right?
Yeah, self-control. I'm not going to make a move for the sake of making a move. I think there was a bit of that under Scott Fitterer and Matt Rule during that regime. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you are inquiring is a good thing because you're actively thinking, you're actively in communication, because other teams will know that, hey, if they're looking to make a move, well, we know we can contact Carolina because at least they're going to listen, because we know they're interested in something because we've spoken to them previously. I think it's a good thing that you are actively calling and aggressive in that regard, but being tact with the decisions that you make.
I agree with all of that, and it's conversation that we've had going back to when they were named as one of the couple of teams that called about Trey Hendrickson, and really every time they're in the mix. I also, to go back to the self-control thing, I like that you're in the mix and then you walk away, right? I think that is a great negotiating power. Like even if, let's say, and this is a completely fair take, that you understood the Micah Parsons contract, which even the way the Packers structured it, it looks like it's a 3 or 4 year deal really before the cap hits get out of control and you might have to move on. Let's say the Panthers were like, listen, it doesn't make sense for us, right? He's going to be really, really good for 4 or 5 years, and who knows how many of those will be contenders, we'll be paying him a ton of money, and maybe it's not great. But I almost want to call up Dallas, throw my hat in the ring, just so when the pot gets a little too rich for our blood, I can walk away, just so the Cowboys know I can. That way, say you're in the mix for a big trade a couple years from now, and you're like, you know what, too rich for my blood, I'm walking away, even if it's a complete bluff, right? Then you plan on calling them back the next day and going, all right, fine, we'll give you what you were asking for. But Dallas now has the knowledge, and they've seen it happen, of where you hit your number, right, your threshold, whatever it is, and you left. They know that Dan Morgan can, because there's nothing better than being in a negotiation for anything, and you know you got him on the line.
Oh, yeah.
And you know it, and you're like, oh, you're going to walk away? All right, see ya. And then you're sitting there, feet on the desk, right, legs crossed, hanging out. They'll call. And then they call back, fine, I'll give you the extra second. And you're just like, beautiful. I knew it, right? There's also nothing worse than realizing you only have one team on the line.
Mm-hmm.
They just said they're walking away. And based on your previous interactions with them, they might actually be walking away, and you just ruined your market, right? And that's when you call them up, fine, I'll do it for you don't have to give in the extra third. I think it's good just to remind teams like, hey, we were in the mix for Hendrickson, but price was too high, so we left. Oh, we were in the mix for Micah Parsons. Oh, price was too high, so we left. So the next time they're in the market for an edge rusher and they say, price is too high, even if they don't actually want to leave, the seller's going, well, they will leave. We've seen them do it a bunch of times. It's just good, setting the table for relationships, right? When we tell you we're done, we're done.
It's like when you're buying a car. What's the out-the-door price?
Yeah.
Too high. Buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they come, actually, here's what we can do.
That's the absolute best you can do? Interesting. Is there the other car dealership that's 2 lefts down the road? Okay. Yep. All right. Yep. See ya. Wait. Maybe we can throw in the 4-wheel drive. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I got extra cup holders. That's what you got? Extra cup holders. Interesting. Told me you didn't have anything else a second ago. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You know where I am 100% great in my negotiations? After the negotiations are long done and I'm doing it in my head like driving home. I should have said that. I should have said that. When they called my bluff, I should have walked away. I am undefeated, like in the shower that night, rerunning through all the negotiations. I should have done better. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm also that way with gambling, but hopefully you're better than I am. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Game on, everybody. Week 1 starts now. Every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football, everybody. It's first touchdown fireworks, anytime touchdown rushes, and live bets that ride every single momentum shift. It's that real. It really is. And, of course, DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. That's what betting on touchdown scorers does. And if you're looking at touchdown scores for tomorrow's game, the season opener, there's a lot of people on this Philadelphia Eagles offense that are kind of getting swept under the rug. Everyone's talking about Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts with the tush push. What about a little tight end, Dallas Goedert action? Get down on the goal line, everyone's thinking tush push, a little play action dump off. Goddard for the score, plus 280 anytime touchdown score. Good money there. Or how about this one for a deeper cut? Maybe you're not high on Dallas. They just traded away one of their best players. Maybe Philly boat races them. They're up by 3 scores. Who gets in late and scores? North Carolina's native, Will Shipley, right? Gets in the game, scores. Look at that. You know what that number is? Plus 750. That's a nice payout right there for an anytime touchdown scorer. The lines and odds are subject to change, but if those were interesting to you, you might want to check them out on this DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers, I got something special for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season, it starts now. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. What do we need now? We need some numbers game contestants, don't we? Because we have tickets to see Billy Currington with Kip Moore on September 13th at Red Hat Amphitheater. A pair of tickets goes to one of you, but you have to win the numbers game to get them. We need 2 contestants. Call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. 2-6 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and win those country music tickets. Stick around. Numbers game next.
Hey, it's Adam Golden. As the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance. That's right, 8 in a row. That's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50. Add any size Sprite for $1.49. Price of participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Listen up. ESPN Unlimited is now included at no extra cost
with Spectrum TV. Spectrum gives you everything from ESPN, live games, original series, top analysis, and more. Spectrum is really stepping up with this offer, and you get more of me, Stephen A. Smith. Get your act together and go to spectrum.com/entertainment for details. ESPN Unlimited and more popular streaming apps are included at no extra cost with Spectrum TV. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Thanks. Got my seat cushion, crossword puzzle, and oh, can't forget the hand sanitizer. Okay, show me the waiting room.
No need for all that. You can stay in your car.
I'll stay in my car. Get out.
Yep, you stay in. It'll just be 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Get out.
Go ahead, sit back and relax.
Well, I guess I'll save all this for the DMV. If only they took 10 minutes, am I right? I'm sorry.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The contestants for today, Cameron in Raleigh and Landon in Franklinton. The prize for today, tickets to see Billy Currington and Kip Moore on September 13th at Red Hat Amphitheater. As always, we'll bring each contestant on here. I will ask them the same question. Dennis will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first, and we'll jump into the numbers game. Cameron in Raleigh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, Tim.
All right, the question for today is, this is a hypothetical question, but treat it with the utmost importance. Dennis has a fantasy draft tonight, and he needs to name his team. What should he name his fantasy football team?
Oh my goodness, really putting me on the spot here.
That's the goal. We got to make you sweat a little.
Oh man. Let's just go Panthers 7-9. I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry.
Panthers 7-9?
Whatever the total is. I'm not an NFL guy, man. You totally froze me on this.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll see how it goes. By the way, this is just warming you up, right? You're going to have to think quick for the numbers game. So this is getting the gears turning.
You know what the funny thing is?
What?
I actually do have a draft tonight.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that.
joined a random ESPN league, and I have a draft tonight. I'm like, what am I going to name my team? So I'm actually, whomever I pick here, it's going to be my team name. For real.
Well, there you go. Do you have any follow-up questions for Cameron?
Well, you call me Doug, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that too. Landon in Franklinton, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to throw the same question at you. Dennis has a fantasy football draft tonight. He needs a team name. What name are you giving him?
The Chili Dogs.
The Chili Dogs. All right. It's actually, I thought it was funny. But I'm not the judge. Dennis, which one are you rolling with?
Landon actually did give me a team name.
Yep.
And also did not call me Doug. So my team name for this season, the Chili Dogs. There it is. I'm going to go with Landon in Franklinton.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that move at all.
That's actually a real thing. I actually do have a draft. I was like, how did you know?
Kismet. There's something in the universe. So Landon in Franklinton will get to go first. Cameron and Raleigh will get to go second. Just stay on hold, Cameron. You'll have your chance. Landon, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right. The categories are NFL players born in early September, NFL players born in Iowa, NBA players with weird nicknames, or NHL players, hurricanes throughout history?
The first, NFL September.
All right. NFL players born in early September. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Quentin Johnston, Los Angeles Chargers.
33.
Incorrect. Ricky Pearsall, San Francisco 49ers.
70.
Incorrect. Quentin Johnson, Los Angeles Chargers.
Pass.
Austin Corbett, Carolina Panthers.
96.
Incorrect. Ricky Pearsall, San Francisco 49ers.
21.
Incorrect. Quentin Johnston, Los Angeles Chargers.
30.
Incorrect. Austin Corbett, Carolina Panthers.
94.
Incorrect. I appreciate just throwing darts, but you didn't get that close if we're being honest. Quentin Johnston with the Chargers wears number 1. Ricky Pearsall with the Niners wears number 1 and previously wore number 14. We would have accepted either. And Austin Corbett with the Panthers, number 63. They were all born in early September. However, Landon. Even though you didn't get any right, tie goes to whoever goes first. So because Dennis chose your chili dogs answer, you still have a shot here. If there's a tie, you will be the winner. So stay on the line, and we'll see if you get lucky, okay?
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to Cameron and Raleigh. Cameron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I want to apologize to Dennis. It's my grandfather's name. I'm going to live with that forever, and I love chili dogs. So.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
I have an
You know
uncle
what?
named Doug, so it works.
I have to be honest. That's a nice save right there on multiple fronts. Well played, and now you can get into the numbers game. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players born in Iowa, NBA players with weird nicknames, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. In this category, I will say the team name, even though we know it in this category, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other category. And you need at least one for the win. Any questions before we get started?
No, let's do it.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Sebastian Aho, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Correct. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
Incorrect. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
Incorrect. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
Let's do a pass.
Kevin Weeks, Carolina Hurricanes.
80.
Correct. Radek Dvorak, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Correct. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes.
51.
Incorrect. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
29.
Incorrect. You did get 3 out of the 5, though. That was a nice showing. It's nice when you get Sebastian Aho right out the gate. There's kind of like that. Here you go. Fastball down the middle. For those of you playing at home, Nikishin, 21. Anthony Stewart, 13. But the 3 you got, plenty for the win. Congratulations. You are the winner, Cameron.
Thank you. I just want to apologize to Dennis once again.
Well, you're going to have that opportunity because you have to stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
You know what? Doug's Chili Dogs. That's going to be my team name.
Doug's Chili Dogs.
Doug's Chili Dogs. Let's go.
Bad. Doug's Chili Dogs. That's not bad. I will say the best fantasy football nicknames. I'm not a fan of the real punny ones, the ones that are like, the name of your best player. Let me think of a good one here. Like Hurts, Hurts so good, something like that, right? For if you have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, like I'm not a fan of the punny ones. I like the ones that make absolutely no sense. Doug's Chili Dogs might work, and I want to also say this: I'm terrible at naming them. All the names that my teams have are awful. So there you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Shout out to everybody that plays the numbers game, takes that chance. Tomorrow we might go with that same question though. I like the idea of naming fantasy teams. Could be a good deal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We just had a caller pick Carolina, and they had to name a whole bunch of hockey players. Well, that person's probably a hockey fan. If you're a hockey fan, if you were sitting there screaming, the number's 21, you have to know it's 21, then you need to get ready because the Sin City Skateaway is back starting next Monday, September 8th. Listen weekdays from noon to 6 p.m. for the hourly keyword. Text in that keyword before the end of that hour, and you will get another entry to be in the running for the ultimate Vegas hockey trip. You can do that 6 times a day from noon to 6 o'clock every weekday starting on Monday until Monday, September 22nd, when we will name the lucky winner, and the winner will receive, buckle up because this prize is awesome, a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena on October 20th, round-trip airfare for 2 to Vegas, 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino with $400 in food credits. So do not miss your shot. Do not miss getting as many shots as you can. Listen in to 99.9 The Fan starting on Monday from noon to 6 weekdays. Don't miss your shot at the ultimate hockey getaway, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb and Company. It's pretty sweet prize. I get excited just reading it to all of you. There's really no other way to say that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Maynard Service Company, one of the ways I love to describe them, I appreciate describing them in this way, is because it's true, right? It's just built into the fabric of their company. They want to be, and they have the ability to be, your handyman, your handy person, right? Back in the day, and I'm talking about decades and decades, maybe a century ago, right? You would have the person you call that could fix everything, right? My grandma had one. I think his name was Frank. You would call him, could come fix your heater, could come fix your plumbing, right? Whatever it was, he'd roll up with his truck, his work truck, and his toolbox, and things were probably a bit simpler then. Now you cut into a hot water heater, it looks like a computer. So it's more difficult to find one person that can fix everything. HVAC units, look at just how much they've advanced technologically wise in the last 2-3 decades. It's insane. So while you might not be able to call one person that is an expert at everything the way you could, I don't know, in like the 1950s, you can call Maynard Service Company, and they have highly trained technicians that are a part of your community that are constantly being trained in the latest technology so they can come out and fix whatever it is. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. It's the modern version of the person you used to call to fix everything in the house. No matter what it is, Maynard Service Company will find a way. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and they'll do so with great customer service to make you feel right. The number to call, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or check them out online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. What does this week look like for Bill Belichick and UNC? Are they fixing the problems that were exposed on Monday? We'll discuss next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The Green Bay Packers, in my opinion, are right there with the Philadelphia Eagles as far as the NFC when we're talking Super Bowl contenders, and they better get this done. You add Micah Parsons to this defense that's already a formidable unit, you take a step forward. The expectations are raised for your organization.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
It takes decades of hard work to buy a home, but the hard work doesn't stop there. At Rocket Mortgage, we believe your home is an active investment, not a passive one. So let's put it to work. When you unlock home equity, you unlock new doors for your family, renovations, extensions, even buying your next property. Get started today with smarter tools and guidance from real mortgage experts. Find out how at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage LLC, licensed in 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is finally here. The National Football League is starting on Thursday. Dallas at Philadelphia. The defending champions will wheel out their Super Bowl trophy and taunt the Cowboys with it because Dallas is somewhat pathetic. By the way, the Eagles are almost a touchdown favorite at home, and there will be pain. FanDuel getting you ready for kickoff with a great new offer for new customers. Bet $5, win that bet, get $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Win a bet, get $300 of our money. Go to FanDuel.com/AdamGold. Download the FanDuel app today. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. Not just for additional content that you miss on this show, but podcasts. Pack Therapy Podcast, new episode out today, breaking down last week's NC State win over ECU, as well as this upcoming game against Virginia with myself and Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback. You can catch Pack Therapy, co-hosted by Dennis or Doug, as we've...
Wait, I co-host Pack Therapy?
Sorry,
or
Panthers
Doug...
Playbook.
Oh,
you
yes.
Co-host. There's also Kane's Corner. There's also things like our Numbers Game live events. So there's one-off cool events that we do on our YouTube. But you have to be subscribed to the YouTube to get the full experience. So go to 99.9 The Fan on YouTube and subscribe.
We'll have a new Panthers playbook dropping 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
There you go.
So getting you ready for week 1. But speaking of Panthers,
we got news?
Panthers watch parties are back, folks. That's right. Panthers watch parties are back at Carolina Ale House. That's right. Football season is back. And let's be honest, your living room doesn't have award-winning wings, a massive beer selection, and over 50 TVs. Carolina Ale House does. They've got homemade favorites and so many screens. You can watch every game at once. Bring your crew, bring your appetite, and get loud at Carolina Ale House. Don't fumble your game day plans. Come watch the game at Carolina Ale House, where great sports deserve great food. Ale, yeah. I will be at the North Raleigh Carolina Ale House this Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoffs. I will be there. You need to be there as well. Again, Carolina Ale House on Falls and Noose, North Raleigh. I'll be there. You might even get some free food if you see me there, just to let you know.
This is just a funny way, the way our brain works in the NFL now. When Dennis, as rightfully he should, is telling you about all the cool things going on at Carolina Ale House, he says something like, speaking of the Carolina Panthers, and he's looking at a screen, either his phone or a computer, because that's where the details are. And every time he does it, I go, we got breaking news. Speaking of the Carolina Panthers, I'm like, who's hurt? Oh, no, who's hurt? Or what was the trade? Like, I'm expecting that. And then he just goes into like, you can come check out the watch party. And I'm like, oh, never mind. That's just an uplifting little bit of information for the people. But there is that split second where I'm like, what? Speaking of them, what do you mean? It's just breaking news, right? It can happen at any time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to have a quick conversation about the way the Tar Heels, meaning Bill Belichick and UNC, that football program, are going to react to their loss Monday night against TCU. Because when you look at their schedule, starting on a Monday means you just naturally, you have a short week to your following Saturday game, right? Normally you play on Saturday, you have kind of that full calendar week to get ready for your next game. When you play on Monday, conveyor belt rolling, right? Treadmill set to 100. You have to get ready for the next game, which, looking at their schedule preseason, it's like, oh, wow, that could be a little bit of, an inconvenience for them going from TCU straight to Charlotte. Then they lose the game in the manner in which they lost the game, and my first reaction was, I don't know if that's enough time for them to fix all of the things they have to fix by week 2, because the TCU obviously exposed some things that Charlotte and their coaching staff are going to be able to find. Whether they have the people to execute them or not remains to be seen. But, TCU made some adjustment between the first UNC offensive drive and the second UNC offensive drive, and everyone beyond there, right? There was a adjustment made of some kind, and Charlotte can watch the film and likely figure it out. So I went, playing on Monday and then having to play again on Saturday, I'm not sure Bill Belichick has the time. But then the more I thought about it, the more I went, in my playing career, do you realize how much I would have given if you could take 2 days off the time between one of my worst games and the next game? Right? Because sometimes I think one of the most brutal things about football, right? It's a physical sport. It's a tough sport. You got to sacrifice all that, right? Those you could say are brutal. But one of the most brutal things about football is you only play one game a week, right? And I was so jealous. My roommate, my senior year of high school, played basketball for Delaware, and they could play an awful game on like a Wednesday and play a great game on Friday, and by the weekend, they're in a great mood again. And I'm like, oh, that's got to be so nice. If I play a bad game on Saturday, I'm sour-faced all week until the next Saturday when I get a chance to get it out of my system, right? You're mad, you're motivated, you're all those things. So let's call a spade a spade. UNC didn't play well against TCU. Saturday, they can wipe that taste out of their mouth. They can get back on the right foot. They can start the path towards rebuilding their reputation for the 2025 Tar Heels and get on with the rest of their season.
Yeah, you don't have time to dwell on it.
You really don't.
You don't.
Like, it's coaches talk about, like, flushing it.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like you watch the film once as you, because players, I used to as a player, like to watch the film at least once before the coaches watched it with me, right? Watch the film once with you, watch the film once with the coaches. You really can't watch you anymore on a short week because you have to watch the defense you're preparing to go against. There's like, bury that film, burn that film, whatever your metaphor is, and get on to watching Charlotte because, it's Wednesday and you play on Saturday already. And usually by the time you get to Wednesday, if you played on Saturday, you spent like all day Sunday watching it. Monday is usually an off day in the NCAA, which means you had a whole bunch of player time only to watch it and start watching the next team. Tuesday, you're finally out on the practice field correcting the mistakes you made on Saturday. And maybe by Wednesday, you're completely flushed and looking towards the future. If you play on Monday, by Wednesday, you still need to be completely flushed and looking towards the future. You just didn't have nearly as much time to get punched in the face by the mistakes you made on Monday as you did if it was on Saturday. So it could be a weird, fortuitous bounce for their schedule that they played on Monday. The negative for bounce of the schedule is you were the only game on Monday and everybody saw what you put out there.
That's true.
But at least you don't have time to dwell on it, right? You don't have time to sit there and go, everybody watched us and we played awful. Instead, you're just out there like, we got to get ready for Charlotte. Like, that's what the next conversation is.
And gosh, Charlotte, they played on Friday, so they have an even longer time, and they got their butts handed to them by App.
Charlotte did get a long time to watch themselves because they didn't even have the tape of UNC to put in until Monday. So from Friday till Monday, they were just watching every angle of App State giving them the business. They're the exact opposite of what was going on with the Tar Heels. So maybe we'll see what's better. What's better motivation for the following Saturday? Not having enough time to dwell or having all the time in the world to dwell?
True.
That's what these two teams are going through.
Sit there and think about what you did.
For 4 days, because they don't, like, what are you watching, Patriots film to get ready for Bill Belichick? For 4 days, all they had was watching their own tape against App State, and that wasn't fun for them either.
You think Charlotte probably watched that game as well, like seeing how everything eroded so quickly for Carolina. They're like, hey, guys.
What'd they do different?
We got a chance here.
What did they do different from the first series to the second series? We need to figure that out. What did TCU do different? And we need to do that. That's what we need to do.
They probably saw the first series and went,
Yep.
And then I'm like, wait
a second.
Hold on.
Is this a new Happy Gilmore? It really, like, it's going to be a fascinating game between UNC
another
and
movie
Charlotte.
reference to the
in Charlotte. Oh, today's all about movie references. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That voice you just heard is Dennis Cox, and he's got something for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, maybe watching your hard-earned money vanish away every single month? Well, stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker as well. You can even skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no obligation quote. Loan Pronto, they're outstanding. Imagine this. Just think about this for a second. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow, there's NFL football.
There is.
It's not a throwaway game either. It is the Dallas Cowboys against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Tonight, 7 o'clock, Wolfpack Weekly.
Tonight, 7 o'clock, Wolfpack Weekly.
Right here on The Fan.
Dave Doran will give you some insight into what's going on with State coming off the ECU victory. Look a little closer than some would have hoped. And going into a non-conference conference game, which is just a funny way to think about it. They're playing
really
Virginia this weekend in a non-conference game. Yeah, do the math. Doesn't make too much sense, but I promise you, it's true. So that's right here on 99.9 The Fan later tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for more of The Drive. Overdrive coming up next. Would you trade Derek Brown in a package for Micah Parsons? May have been a decision Dan Morgan actually had to make. That's what's starting Overdrive. We'll see you tonight or tomorrow, everybody.
Move your sports day forward.
Currently built around unicorns like Shohei and studs like Aaron Judge, baseball getting a late-season jolt with Seattle catcher Cal Raleigh. The Carolina native now being talked about in the same breath as Mickey Mantle for a 50-home run season. It also helps his nickname's the Big Dumper. It also helps he looks like the ringer you'd play with in beer league.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion.